91.5 WBIM presents Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks. Whoever you're with, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, don't stop. Just turn us up. Coming to you live from the Adrian Rondelou Campus Center. We are your destination for commercial-free classic rock to power your nights. Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Pearl Jam, Eric Clapton, AC/DC, Zeppelin, Foo Fighters, Aerosmith, The Clash, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Rolling Stones, Soundgarden, Van Halen, and hundreds more. 5 decades, thousands of songs, and one show to rule them all.
All kinds of cool bands.
You guys rock! We are all request at 508-531-1303.
I can hear what I want when I want.
Every song just rocks.
So go get some food in the belly, gas in the tank, and prepare to make your Saturday night something classic. The Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks begins now on Bridgewater's own 91.5 WBIM.
It's 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater Saturday Night Soundtrack. Gang's all here. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer.
Hello.
How are you, gentlemen?
Oh, we're good.
Oh, good.
He's good.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, good.
I am so good that I'm good.
Are you ready? Are you strapped in?
I am not strapped in.
I'm not putting my seatbelt on tonight.
No.
Oh, we're just living dangerously tonight.
Arms and legs out the window.
Oh, just flailing about.
Just flailing about.
That's fantastic.
We're just going to flail around.
Awesome. 508-531-1303.
Like we're having seizures all over the floor.
Everywhere.
Come sit down and enjoy the show.
Jared is not talking to Steve because
No.
Steve already knows to sit down.
We're talking to, can I refer to you as the intern?
Absolutely.
Is that okay with you?
Perfectly all
Are
right.
you going to be offended?
No.
Okay.
what I am.
I'm told I easily offend.
He does.
One of my so let's welcome to the program officially, since we want to actually tell people who he is. Brendan Smith is our intern from 5 to 7 p.m. So good evening, Mrs. Smith.
Thank you for the warm welcome, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. My first line of business is going to be to apologize for sitting you out there with you bozos.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Be all right.
He'll
He's not going to be all right,
place
yeah.
to be.
It's fine for you. It may not be fine for him by the end of the evening.
No.
No. 508-531-1303 is the number to call. You can like us on Facebook at Saturday Night Soundtrack.
MySpace.
No, it's not MySpace. You can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. And don't forget to listen to us if you're going anywhere and you're thinking to yourself, hey, I can't take WBIM with me because it's only 180 watts and I can't listen to it anywhere else. Don't forget that we are on live stream. That's a free app that's available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. You can also check out just livestream.com. That'll work too. All you have to do...
You have to have a better phone than my wife. So.
Oh, do you really?
Yes, you do.
So get a good phone, will you please?
And then also,
Yeah.
don't forget to subscribe to our live journal.
That we don't have live journal. We go through this every week.
Every week.
It's difficult every week.
Just saying.
The other thing that you can do, too, is while you're following us and listening to us in all of those places, you can make sure to give us requests, and remember that we're on until 11 o'clock, so we need your requests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't show up to the studio because I don't want to see your face.
Well-
We have one request already, though.
Oh, do we?
We have the Nate one.
That's true. Mm-hmm. That's true.
The intern is confused.
That's fine. That's going to be a condition until we've properly indoctrinated him. Part of the problem is that you're not letting me complete a sentence, which is going to be difficult when I'm trying to teach this gentleman everything that needs to be known. Steve, is there a way to leave Brendan and your mics off and turn his off? Is there a way?
I can work out something, I'm sure.
Sweet God in heaven, can you find a way?
I'll
I'm
find
not
a way.
here. I'm not here next Saturday, so relax.
Oh, really? Well, now you tell me.
Lodge. I have lodge.
you
No,
got
I understand.
lodge? Okay.
I asked you.
I'm going to come in there and club you. What are you talking
I
about?
asked you a month ago to tell me what nights you had lodge, and you were like, I'll get you a schedule. No schedule. Nothing. It's flying by the seat of our pants.
I got one for you. I got one for you. What do you want?
No lodge?
Yeah. So,
So, pens.
we have pens.
Oh,
We
pens.
have pens.
We got pens.
Which
We
is
got-
actually, I was going to refute the statement that Jared made, is that you can come up to the studio if you want, because we can give you a pen. And pen's going to be helpful because it's got Saturday Night Soundtrack on it. It's got the emblem. It's got the It's got the slogan for the show, the phone number, the time, all that great stuff.
Everything you need.
Speaking of pens,
Jared has something to say. What a shock.
What's going on with the school stealing our pen idea?
Did you notice that?
I did notice that. Look at this junk. Like, if you, Mr. Intern, if you look at your pen that's in your pocket, and then you look at this one, I think someone stole something.
Yeah.
And I feel a
And
lawsuit
it was
coming.
not us. Let's
that came first.
point that
You
out
came
right
first.
now.
That's a fact.
I think that's true.
Are you taking law here?
Taking law?
Yeah.
Should I?
Well, I'm just saying, because if you were, then you can be our lawyer, because we're going to sue. We're going to sue.
I'll back you up.
Good. Oh, good.
Here we got somebody backing
Here we
us
go.
up. Speaking of people backing us up, we have one new follower on, or one new like.
Why are we doing
on
this?
Facebook?
Was it the intern?
It wasn't me, unfortunately.
It was not him.
He doesn't even want to high-five me. What is that?
It was.
He's frightened of me.
Do you know who it was?
No, who was it?
Nate.
Yeah, it was Nate.
Oh, good for Nate.
I care.
He needs to call tonight.
He does need to call, and we can
we
give
have
him
a request from him.
We can give him a pen.
Yeah, we have a request from him as well.
We can give him whatever else he wants. We got a request, and
Why
we're starting off strong.
are we giving this kid all kinds of, like, support for, like, leaving us high and dry the last 2
Because
shows?
he's actually
We don't know why, though. There might be a good reason for that.
I
That'd
actually
be a good
think,
reason.
and here's one of the reasons, is that I actually think that he
He's a
may be
racist.
he may be one of the only
Racists that
no,
listen.
let me finish.
How do you pluralize that?
Can I finish a sentence? He may be the only legitimate fan that we have on Facebook right now, because right now it's all family and friends of friends. Mm-hmm. Nate's
And the intern.
only, right. Well, no, not yet. Nate's
He's going to do it when you're not looking.
Oh my holy God. Nate's the only guy who is officially a fan of us, and I think that he deserves his kudos because of that. And it's just so glorious to actually be able to finish my thought. Nate is a fan. He is the first official fan that we've had on Facebook. We've got one more official fan on Twitter, but Nate's an official fan, and he's joined us on Facebook, and we're glad.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's going to have to come down to that.
You are glad.
I
am not glad.
Well, that's fine.
I want that scary redheaded kid from Tedeschi's to like us instead.
Slick Nick.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't actually know if that's what he calls himself, but that's what Mikey D called him.
Yeah,
and,
he's a frightening man.
Just going to go with that.
Have you met that guy?
Not yet.
Don't do it.
I'll try to avoid him at all costs.
Brendan has so many experiences in front of him. It's not even.
Well, that's the part of the college experience, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah. Oh
It's
yeah,
a
absolutely.
cornucopia of experiences.
Yes.
Positive, negative,
Yeah.
everything in between.
Screw it. Let's do some coke.
Or how about some classic rock? How would that be? Steve's got we've actually got a twofer on deck from a gentleman that did he just celebrate the birthday, or is it today?
His birthday's in January.
Why are we doing this again?
Because I got a new shirt. We had to play Bowie.
I totally thought it was like a
Wow.
birthday or some sort of anniversary of some release
No.
of some, penultimate album or something like that. So Steve has a new shirt.
Exactly.
So we're going to play a twofer of Bowie.
Exactly.
Coming up next.
An old one and a
great-
new one.
That's as good a reason as any that I can think of.
Exactly.
Guys ready to do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Mr. Anecdote.
508-531-1303. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack, 91.5 WBIM.
It's time to dust off some crusty, dirty old relics. Maybe they'll clean some of the records, too, while they're at it. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer. The Saturday Night Soundtrack on 91.5 WBIM.
Two for their Allman Brothers 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. You had the Allmans there all together, and right before that, heard from Greg Allman solo. Had Nirvana in there, and a twofer from David Bowie as well, because, Steve got a new T-shirt.
Exactly.
So that's why we did the twofer. It's 5:36, and this is going to be difficult to run through. Rob Hicks is here, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, our new intern, Brandon Smith, and Mikey D is here.
Hello, friends.
So that
And beyond.
that
Did you
Holy
fix the light bulb?
cow. Did you fix the light
Yeah,
bulb?
the light bulb
I mentioned
fixed.
this to somebody and it got fixed.
somebody did.
Yeah, somebody else. You know why? Because they're more capable than you are.
I'm not going to disagree with you on that one. I just remembered, guess where I did stop on the way into work today?
Do you know how high my levels are right now with him standing in the corner? Yes. Who did you? Oh, Nate. You did not go to see
you
Nate.
insinuating Mikey D has a very big mouth.
I'm not
Yeah, you do.
insinuating
It's
anything.
huge.
There's no insinuation going on here.
It's a known fact.
And he's standing right over the new intern's shoulder.
I feel bad for the new intern.
This is going exactly
Did
how
I
I thought
shatter
it
an
would.
eardrum?
Yeah, a little bit.
Possibly.
You're giving him a tan with the way you're yelling.
Hey,
Yeah.
I forgot to stop by as I was going by it today. Completely forgot. What's that guy's name? Kate down at the store.
And it begins. You forget every week, Mike. You always come in here and you're.
Because he's
I
drunk.
thought last week, didn't forget, and of course he wasn't there.
You always have the same story. You come in and you're like, I was coming in and I completely forgot to go see that guy. I'm going to go see him before I leave here. And then you never see him.
You Mikey D wanted me. Listen good. I stopped last week, and of course he wasn't there. So.
And you got to
And
meet.
what? I
Maybe
didn't go
he
by
was.
I didn't stop by this week, and he's probably there.
You got to
No,
meet
he's not.
Slick Nick
No, it's
instead.
this weird redheaded guy.
Oh, you stopped?
I don't
Yeah.
refer to. They could be listening to
Could have
us.
been a fan.
I really
Did you tell
prefer
him to
you.
I gave him a pen and he threw it out.
Really prefer you not refer to people as.
I
weird
gave him a
looking.
pen and he threw it
How
out.
do you know he threw it out?
Because he put it right in the trash right when here you go, and he's like, thanks. Right in the. I'm like, oh, okay.
Are you sure?
what?
Are you sure that happened?
I saw it.
He didn't just
I
accidentally.
know. Me and Mikey D were drinking behind the stop. I have no
Guess
idea
what?
what's going
Because
on.
of that, I'll definitely stop by next week. Make sure he fetches it out of that trash barrel.
It's gonna be long gone by then. What
Or
are you
else-
talking about? You should go there now.
with his
Or else
mouth.
That pen is going to be replaced in the trash barrel by him.
Okay.
Oh God.
See, this is what we're talking about. He's drunk.
Yeah,
You
this
know
is
he wants
scary.
to job up here as an intern.
all of a
Complete
sudden
mayhem.
I'm going to be like, where'd he go?
All right,
yeah, I don't
fellas,
know. He
what else
left.
is
There's gonna be a Mikey's D's trunk.
Dye taped and all, right?
I think the levels
Yeah.
just automatically corrected themselves because they were like, something is wrong. Something's horribly wrong in that other
Mikey
room.
D's on the mic.
With the sound levels, there's a problem.
We need the phone calls coming in from all over the stinking universe.
Hey, we got one last week at, 6 minutes to 11?
Yeah, and it was from your friend Joel.
Yeah. Yeah, he called you a bastard.
I don't recall that part of it, but...
Probably did.
I mean, better late than never. But Joel decided at 10:52 all of a sudden, hey, I think I'll call these guys. Oh, thanks.
All right, so we put on a 2-minute song for him before the show ends.
No, we put on a 6-minute song for him. As a matter of fact.
Yeah.
All right, so what the album I brought in?
Yeah. So Gary Richrath from REO Speedwagon passed away over the past week. He's 65.
Yeah.
And I've actually got, so we're going to do a couple of things, right? This is almost going to be like an REO Speedwagon memorial party.
Oh, come on.
No.
Okay.
I
So
don't like them.
here's the deal, right?
Guys, deceased, come on, show a little respect.
Hey, I'm talking about the band. I'm not talking about the.
All right.
All right, here's the deal. So we're going to do, we've got a track off, You Can't Tune a Piano, but You Can Tune a Fish.
Love that one.
It's an album that was, so the songs here were produced by Gary Richrath. The song we got coming up, Roll With the Changes, was the first track off the album. That was produced by Gary. He did not write it. Later in the show, we're going to have a threefer of songs that he actually wrote. And then later on in the show, we'll play one more track off this album that Mikey D brought up, and that would be one that he produced as well.
I vomited in
Very
my
good.
mind twice.
That's fantastic. That's fine. Just think about all you're going to miss when you're not here with us next week. You're going to miss all this. Well, you're not going to miss 5 REO Speedwagon songs. 'Cause
No, I'm
that's-
not gonna.
That's happening tonight. But you're going to miss the fun in general.
What, you're not going to be here next week?
No, I got lodge. Where's everybody saying? Well, I said this the other day.
You didn't say this the other day, Steve.
I,
Did you say this?
the other show I mentioned that I have
No, you
I have
did
an
not.
obligation of lodge. I did.
You didn't mention what night.
did.
Why don't
First
the
I've heard of
four
it.
Here shut their damn mouths and let have a few adjectives uttered by Brendan, since he's the intern, and maybe have a classic rock show in due time.
He looks like he's so afraid.
I'm not.
You shaking?
I'm not shaking in my boots right now. I'm just-
You know what I did want to ask you, Brett, and I wanted to get to this before we got too deep into the show, so I might as well do it now.
Sure, what's that?
While Mikey D
Did
actually
you bring a
seems-
change of pants?
Can you just stop talking for 5 seconds so that I can speak to my intern, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He's a person, not a.
So here's the thing. So I just want to ask a little bit of your background. Have you done any DJing? What year are you in? What's your major? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Brendan.
Sure. Well, this would be my first, forte into any of this stuff. I've never done it before, but I'm very excited to learn. I'm just a freshman, comm major, so this is in line with that. I'm really just grateful for the opportunity, and interested in what I'm going to learn here.
Nice.
Good.
Nice. Well, thank you. And we're glad to have you here. And then
Thank you.
during a couple of the next sets or something, swing by in here. Don't let this guy talk your ear off. come in here so I can actually show you some valuable things.
Sure, hands on.
He's very professional.
He is, unlike some of us in
A
the
little
other
bit,
room.
yeah.
Should I
I feel
tone
like I
it
should have
down?
buttoned my shirt.
I feel like you should just button your mouth.
Yeah.
And then we'll be even.
Button your knees.
That would be better.
Oh, man. All right, so we're going to do REO Speedwagon.
Gross.
We're going to get into some requests. We're going to totally disregard whatever Jared thinks. And everything
As
will
we
be fine.
usually do.
So it's basically par for the course. Brendan, you're in for a ride, my friend. You're in for a ride.
Well, I'm excited.
Good. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Don't forget all the places you can check us out. You can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can search for us on Twitter, @SN Soundtrack. And you can always listen to the show at livestream.com or the Livestream app, which is free, the iTunes or Google Play stores. There's REO Speedwagon, SNS. Hard on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack, wrapping up a big block of classic rock there. Had Hard in there, had some, kicked it off with some REO Speedwagon. Jared loved that.
Yes, he did.
Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and 605, hello.
I left the state, actually.
No, you
Oh, is that where you went?
How did you get back so quick?
Don't worry about it. I'm a Freemason.
508-531-1303. Give us a call. We're doing classic rock until 11 o'clock. We've got our intern here, Brendan Smith. He's still hanging around. And give us a call. Anything that you want to hear, you can check us out on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us on Twitter @SN Soundtrack, both of which I'm sure Brendan is going to do as soon as he gets home.
Right now.
No, he hates this show.
Oh, yeah. I like that he's got the pen in his pocket, though.
Uh-huh.
For now, at least, until he throws it out at the end of the night.
That's what's going to happen.
It's going to stay in this pocket.
Next week,
And then he's going to wash his shirt. Oh, that damn pen.
Next week, I better see him writing with that and not one of those damn knockoffs back there.
I'm suing the
You know what
school.
I come in, I was having a great night. I come in, I'm setting everything up. I'm in a good mood. All of a sudden, Steve says, "Look at this." I'm like, what? Then I find out what it is. Oh, man.
Dirty bastards. There we go.
So, how was your week?
It was good.
Oh, good.
You know, it's a week. Days, hours, and such. You know.
I was technically on vacation,
Oh, I heard.
but
Let's do this.
well, my vacation was awful. So
Did you spend a lot of time at the, where? Where did you go? I remember you tweeting about it.
So I started off at the so Monday. I don't waste any time. Monday morning, 9 o'clock. I was at the IRS office in Brockton because I still had yet
Holy
to get my
cow,
tax
someone's
return.
interrupting you.
And someone's calling.
Yeah, someone's calling.
This is more important. BIM.
Yep.
I just want to have you know that those pens are the greatest thing ever, and I don't like hearing you down talking the pens that I ordered.
Well, the thing of it is, friend, is that we had pens first, and they're exactly the ones that you got, which is kind of just strange to me, I think.
That order was processed long before your pens showed up in my studio.
Ah, okay. So, let's when were our pens ordered, sir? Like
Well, his-
back in May?
I think ours
Yeah,
were ordered.
May.
Yeah. So, I don't know, friend.
Unless we want to chalk this up to great minds think alike.
Yeah, we can do that.
No, and we ordered 2,500 of those pens, and they just showed up last week.
2,500.
But we actually placed the order about a month ago.
Very good.
Well, no matter what, all of the BSC campus is going to be pretty well stocked with WBIM pens, whether they be from Saturday Night Soundtrack or the station themselves.
Yep.
And they will have styluses to go along with all of them.
Yeah, so they can use them on their iPads.
Absolutely, because this is the 21st century.
Yes,
Yeah, it actually works on your phone, try
it does.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, we actually got the idea from a couple of the other school departments.
That's okay.
Why are we getting this weird echo?
I don't know what's going on with that.
So
Pens everywhere.
who am I talking to?
What?
Who am I talking to?
This is Tom Donaldson, general manager.
Nice.
Yeah, I was about to jump in with that, and then I was like, let Jared step off that
I'll
cliff
just
on
dig
his
my
own.
hole. I'll dig my hole nice and deep.
We're gonna have shovels.
usual.
We're gonna have shovels with Saturday Night Soundtrack on them next.
Yeah.
Just for Jared,
Well, we got T-shirts coming.
eventually.
Oh, I'm not even going there.
No, I got an update on that.
All right.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I don't want to leave Tom hanging on the phone.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I also wanted to make a request, if that's all right with you guys.
Absolutely, it's all right. What do you want to hear besides me shutting up?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of AC/DC. How about shoot me all night long?
Nice.
Yeah, we'll get that on.
We got it.
Next
Sure.
block.
What?
We'll
Next-
do next block.
All right, cool. I'm driving back to campus right now, so.
He's going to come over here and club me.
Probably. I'm just gonna let it happen too when it happens.
Yeah, me too.
Alrighty.
All right, thanks, Tom.
All right, thanks.
Take care.
Sure, guys.
All right, thanks.
Hey,
Yeah.
my job is to make things awkward here, and I did that.
Well,
you
Mission
manage that
accomplished.
every week.
you excel. I would give you a raise, sir, if you were getting paid here in any way, shape, or form already, but you're
Well,
not.
you know what that does, though? That just shows you that people are listening, especially the people of power,
I
because
should
we're
hope he's
unsure.
listening.
Well, because we're unsure, right? At some point in time, we're like, we don't know if anybody's listening
Well,
to
yeah,
the show.
we always toss it up to
Pete
we're not
was like,
sure.
I don't know if I'm listening. you know? So, like, there you go. And then, like, I make some comments that I'm going to sue over the pens. And then he's like, yeah, I'm listening. I don't appreciate that. I mean, fair enough. Our pens were ordered back in May. But what are you going to do?
Who's
What are you gonna
yeah,
do?
I mean, water under the bridge.
I really
Exactly.
don't know whose side to take with this whole pen thing.
Yeah, that even has our slogan on it. Don't be a Richard.
We should give him some more so he can hand them out to his friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll pass it along.
Pass it along. Like the VD that's going
And
around.
the more pens we get on
Oh, my
campus,
God.
the better it is for us.
So still
Those are the
waiting.
reactions I'm looking for.
Still
by the
waiting
way.
for my tax
You're getting
return. Don't have the tax return back yet.
What?
But so I went to the guy. Oh my
Oh, my
God.
God.
BIM.
Yo, I heard you guys are taking requests.
We are.
Yo, can you put on Jukebox here?
Yeah, we can do that. Who's calling?
This is Trevor. Hi, Tom. I know he's listening right now. I'm also a DJ at WBIM.
Nice.
So, yeah, I love listening to this, and I'm in town, so I tossed it on.
Very good.
You can listen to it on live stream as well.
Oh, yeah, but I live in Bridgewater.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Hearing it from a radio.
Like our sweeper says, he's one of the people who can hear us on an actual radio. So
Yep.
congratulations. So AC/DC and some Foreigner coming up in the next block.
All right.
All right. Thanks, Trevor.
Yep.
All right. We're going to get into it
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
because I want to play some requests and I don't want you to say another word.
What are you talking about? The words that I say are getting us calls. There you go.
They were already listed.
I said
I'm not
the
gonna go
pens and the suing, and then I say VD, and then next thing you know, people are calling.
I'm not going to go through the logic of it. They were already listening. You just angered them enough to call.
That's the point. That's the point. Here we go.
Another big classic rock block coming up. SNS on
The
BIM.
best reason to listen to WBIM on Saturday nights instead of your iPod. Size matters. The largest library of classic rock in Bridgewater is on. This Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer. 91.5 WBIM.
Foreigner 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. That one coming off their 4 album. That was for Trevor. Before that, we heard You Shook Me All Night Long, AC/DC. That was for Tom Donlin, who's here now. And along with him is also Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, Brendan Smith, our new intern that we're very happy to have. And how's everybody doing out there?
Not good. I'm probably going to get fired for this pen situation.
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm not going to... I mean, you dug your own hole with that one. You know what I'm saying? Not that much I can not that much I can do to help you now.
Oh, that's all right.
Not to leave my guys twisted in the wind, but I've told you 17 times not to shoot your mouth off and then mouth.
No, I do it all the time.
You know,
It's all right.
I know.
It's okay.
And then these situations occur.
It's all right. I'm good with that.
Can I make you feel better about the situation?
Your week was terrible, and you're on Tuesday, and then what happened?
Oh no. Well, yeah, my week was terrible, and then I need a new transmission. That sucks.
Yeah.
IRS says that maybe my tax return is going to be coming in like 6 weeks. So that's good.
Why did it take so long?
Because my wife had she had her
last year?
yes, she had her identity stolen, and we didn't find out about it until we tried to file for our tax return back in February, and it came back an invalid Social Security number, so we had to make a bunch of phone calls, first of all, to find out why that was the case, and then second of all, we ended up, we had to file by paper, because now, once they find out that the Social Security number is goofy, they can put a stop on everything else that was going on. They didn't issue a refund to the other person, and what happened was they didn't try to charge anything under her social. They didn't try to open credit cards or anything weird like that. They filed a false W-2, and they filed a tax return. So they didn't end up getting any kind of refund because we always file our stuff so early that there was no time for that to actually happen. It just so happened that that one went in first. So what ended up happening was the old one was in the system still. So when we tried to file the new one, even though they said they took care of it and sort of, disregarded it in the system, when our paper one got filed and got sent in, they got it and put it into the computer. The computer linked up the good one with the old one that was still like sitting off to the side, and it just froze everything up. It didn't reject it. It didn't end up flagging anything. It just basically like froze it completely. Yep. So I go into the tax return, I go into the office, which by the way is one of the most inefficiently run places I've ever seen.
Where did you have to go?
So I went to the IRS office in Brockton, right?
Yeah, well, that's your problem right there.
Yeah.
It's Brockton.
But there's no other, my other choices were to go into Boston or Providence, and I didn't feel like doing either one of those either.
You'd have been better off with Providence.
I thought that Brockton was going to be a good middle of the road. The problem was they got 2 people working there, and they will only take as many people as they know they can help within like the first half of the day. So if they go to lunch at 1, and 8 to 10 people are already waiting at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, they will not even let you stand in line. They'll tell you to come back, as they did with me. I got there at like 9:30, and they were like, nope, come back for 2. Like, I'm sorry, what? Come back for 2.
I wonder what the Brockton DMV is like.
It's probably the same.
Actually, I went there recently.
Yeah?
It was a room full of about 100 people. It took me 4 hours.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrible. And when he said come back at 2, by the way, what he meant was I actually had to go back at like noon and wait in line for 2 hours. But if it gets the situation resolved, that's good, because I waited and I was like, the last thing I want to find out is that they can't fix this. And then I'm sitting and, they finally call your number and you're like, holy Jesus, thank God. And then I'm sitting there talking to I explain everything to the guy and I'm like, I just want to make sure, I think the identity theft thing is all in the past and I think it's been straightened out. I just want to make sure that that's the case and that the return's on its way. And he's keying stuff in. And he's like, he keeps putting his hand like over his mouth and looking at stuff. And his eyes are like shifting around. And then he presses some more buttons. Hand goes up over his mouth again, eyes shifting around. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? And I started sweating. And then he finally just basically said what I just told you about the whole thing getting linked up. And he said he unfroze it. And then we should have a date for a return in 3 weeks. And then we should have the check in 6 weeks, which will be handy if I need to buy a new friggin' transmission for my truck.
Yes.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
It always comes like that.
I'm trying to decide. So now I'm at that juncture where I'm trying to decide if I want to. I've already paid. I paid $500 for the truck last month to get a bunch of stuff fixed. This is the last thing that needed to be fixed, and I thought it was going to be something easy, and turned out not to be. So I'm now deciding if I want to spend potentially $3,200 on a new transmission, or do I want to get another truck and just have truck payments for the next 5 years again?
I would get a new truck.
I'm leaning in that direction, but I've gotten so used to not having car payments, but it also would be nice to not have to put $3,200 down, boom, out of my pocket right away. So that's what that's the juncture that I'm at. And let this be a lesson to you kids, and we've actually got one in the studio right now. I always make this, admonition to college students, and I'm going to make it to you also. Enjoy your college years. Embrace them as long as you can, because being an adult sucks.
Yes.
These are the things you have to deal with, and you don't be in a rush to get out of here.
Oh, I'm in no rush.
No, don't be. Enjoy it. Savor
my
it.
daughter that.
You know what I mean? Just let it, just envelop it.
Soak it all up.
Yeah, just take rapture in it, because all too soon you're going to be like us old guys sitting around doing a radio show on Saturday nights.
Making empty threats.
Making empty threats that we're going to sue people we're not going to sue, getting, our friends in trouble, and and complaining about paying money for new transmissions and all sorts of stuff. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
There was that guy's back who I broke once. That was an accident.
You've been hanging around with Mikey D way too much.
Broke his back. I feel sorry.
Down at Tony SpaghettiOs or whatever it is. 508-531-1303. Call us up. Classic Rock till 11 o'clock. And we can take your requests. We just had 2 in that last block. Granted, they were for folks, connected to WBIM. So let's try for the next block or 2 to get
maybe the intern will.
Let's try getting some requests in for folks that are not directly related to Well, he's related to WBIM. He can make a request by all means. But
do you have a request?
I'd like to get somebody like off the street to make some requests. You know what I mean?
Run outside and then call.
Hi, this is not Brandon, and I'd like to make a request for myself, who's not Brandon. Please, if I can.
This is intern?
Have we discussed any sort of...
Yeah, we did. You weren't a part of it, though.
Okay.
So there you go.
Has a decision been made, though, is my point?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep,
Oh, good.
we're good. So there you go.
Do you need money?
Yeah, obviously.
All right.
Actually, no,
Money.
I'm going to pay for you.
Why are you going to pay for me?
Don't worry about it.
You don't owe me any money. Actually, yeah, you do.
Yeah, exactly. So there you
I
go.
almost
So
totally
don't worry
forgot.
about it.
All right, I'm not concerned anymore.
Yeah.
Not concerned. So,
Yeah.
Saturday Night Soundtrack on Facebook and at SN Soundtrack on Twitter.
And Live Journal.
No, stop
about
saying
that.
Live Journal.
All right.
Nobody,
Friendster.
Doesn't exist.
nobody even knows what the
Tinder.
hell you're talking about.
Find
No,
us
no-
on Tinder.
No, we're not on Tinder. Don't try to find us on Tinder. We're not on
Find
Tinder.
us on Tinder and swipe left. Is that what it is these days? Yeah, see, he knows.
Steve, I'm basically putting
I'm
myself...
just sitting next to him, don't worry.
You know what I'm doing? Is I'm mentally projecting myself forward to next week
Me too.
and how smoothly next week is going to run.
Yep, it'll be quite good.
And some people fantasize about all sorts of whacked out things. I fantasize about completing a sentence, being able to finish a thought.
Or getting a word in edgewise.
It's always nice. It's an underrated but very valued thing to be able to do.
And I'm gone. I'm doing my thing, and then you guys are going to be crying that I'm not here.
Steve,
We need to offend people.
I don't
Where
remember
is he?
crying last
I
year.
was going to say, did we ever cry?
I don't think so.
I feel like I don't recall that, but maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Misremembering. Classic rock. You guys want to get into it?
Yeah.
Into what, bed?
What is wrong with you?
It's college. You got to live it up, right?
Going to take that as a yes. Another big block of classic rock coming up. SNS on BIM.
Stay connected with these guys. Like the Saturday Night Soundtrack on Facebook. Follow SN Soundtrack on Twitter. And subscribe to the Saturday Night Soundtrack channel on YouTube. Now you can get as much of Rob, Jared, and Steve as you want. Anytime, anywhere. And who doesn't want that? SNS on BIM.
Queen at 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Rob Hicks here with you. Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer. We're your best friends.
Hello.
We're your best classic rock friends.
Of course we are.
Absolutely.
So, did you know that the Who tour's been cancelled?
Yes, I was actually going to talk about that in a little bit because
Meningitis.
yeah, we got a Hugh. We got a Hugh. I don't know who Hugh is, but we got a Who song that we're going to play in a little bit and get into that. And apparently, it was going to be spring of 2016. I think they're saying now.
Yes.
Because Roger Daltrey has, what is it? It's viral meningitis, right?
Viral
I wanna make sure I
meningitis,
say
yes.
that right. Because I don't know what the difference is between that and spinal meningitis, but I know spinal meningitis kills people.
Yeah.
I don't know if what he has is one of those things that could have been fatal if it had been untreated. I haven't really gotten a chance to read that much about it. All I know is that it's bad news.
Yeah, I'd have to
So,
look it up.
508-531-1303. We can't tell you anything about viral meningitis, clearly, but we can tell you about classic rock, and we can play your songs while we're at it. We're going to be doing this until 11 o'clock, and you can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. Listen to us at livestream.com, or you can pick up the free Livestream app at the iTunes or Google Play stores and check that out as well. Apparently,
I think something happened to Jared. He's very quiet.
No, there's nothing to talk about right now. What's just going on?
So apparently, if you've got a phone that's not Steve's wife's phone, you can probably get livestream.com. If for that one person, I apologize, Gene, you're out of luck, apparently. The other thing that I wanted to mention, too, that we haven't really touted this evening enough is the fact that we're on YouTube. We got a YouTube channel, and all you have to do is search for Saturday Night Soundtrack. Make sure you do your search under the, just filter for channels, because Saturday Night Soundtrack, if you search for that, is going to give you about 1 billion hits for the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, which I think is dumb.
Yep. It's dumb.
Wish that movie if that movie had never been made, we'd be number one.
Of course we would.
Damn it.
We're still number one.
Of course we are. But what you can find there is basically all of the, for licensing reasons, we don't have any of the music that we play during the shows, but you can check out all of the on-air highlights, like what we're doing right now. And not all this boring, dry, giving the phone number stuff, but that's in there too. But you can hear all the conversations that we have, all the bits that we do, our valued visits with Mikey D.
Very valued.
They're all on there. So check it out. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Valued like an apple with a glass in it.
I don't even know.
Have you got a picture of an apple with a glass in it?
I'm just saying. Because it's like biting into... Hanging out with Mikey D is like biting into an apple with a bunch of glass in it.
That's so harsh.
So
Is it, though?
A little bit. So this has been a rough week for the news.
Yeah.
So apparently, so yesterday they found they obviously identified the baby doe.
Yep, Belle.
As Bella Bond from the Boston area. And I don't know, did you guys did you get a chance to look at the news when it first broke, when it was still available to see like so her mom, Rochelle Bond, who's apparently a waste of skin, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
And her boyfriend, who's equally just I can't.
Is this
say
Gone
what
Baby
he is.
Dawn in real life?
Well, except with not with the happy ending.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I just say one thing, though?
You sure can.
The forensic artist is maybe what you would call them that
Yeah.
created that picture of
Sure.
her from what was left over of the decomposed body. My God. Very close.
Very close, right?
Incredible.
I've seen one of my friends on Facebook came on and it was Kim, and said that because you know who she is, and said, "Is it just me or does it look nothing like her?" Like, no, Kim, it's just you. It looks exactly like her.
It looked exactly like her.
I mean, obviously, it's not going to be 100%
No.
because they're only doing what they can work with. But I mean, especially the nose and the eyes. I mean, how do you get the eyes? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, the nose, the eyes, and even the mouth had similarities.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, when they show it side by side, I just thought it was very close. But
Yeah.
the one thing I wanted to mention too is that for a brief period of time yesterday, before somebody got wind of it and was able to take it down, you could go to Rochelle Bond's Facebook page, which I did, to like, you know, just troll through all her photos and her posts. And before, I want to say it was like April of this year, like she's just posting pictures of her, you know, she was just posting pictures of Bella and saying, here's Bella. It was very sad to go through and look at because it was like, here's Bella's Christmas, awesome day. Like, here's this, here's that. It was like all these, not really milestones, but just like these happy moments in a mom's life. And I looked at it in two ways. I looked at it as that's very, very sad. And then I also looked at it as what if she was doing all these posts as sort of like building her own cover over time. There was one post that was very suspicious, and it was basically just and I get that parents do this, so I don't necessarily know that this is the case, but it was a very, very overt statement about, you know, she's the reason that I'm, you know, going on living right now. I'm so happy with her. My life has direction, blah, 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 kind of all that stuff. That almost looked, in retrospect of everything that happened, it's almost like, was she building up an alibi so she could say later on, my boyfriend did it and I had nothing to do with it?
Exactly.
Look at all my posts, look at how I felt about my child. Or was it legitimately a situation where she got hooked up with really the wrong guy and didn't know what to do? But regardless of whether or not she didn't know what to do, she's a coward, and just I can't even... There's a special place in hell for her. I don't even care if your boyfriend did it and you found out after the fact. Your job as a mother is to put yourself in harm's way to protect your kids, even if it ends up happening after. You know what I mean? Like, even if you're putting yourself in harm's way after the fact to defend... You know, to get justice for them, you still do that. Your job as a mother hasn't ended at that point.
Nope.
So the very fact that she wasn't able to, like, put herself aside and, you know, contributed to the lie for so long, there's just no excuse for it.
Coward.
On the other side of it, and something that's not quite as heavy, but still something that bears sort of mention and an interesting news story in and of itself, how do you guys feel about the whole clock thing?
Oh, I was talking about this earlier.
Okay. I want to get your thoughts on it before I voice my
I wouldn't
thoughts on
normally
it.
take this line, but for a kid that was so obviously brilliant that he could create that thing,
I think you and I are already on the
he
same
couldn't
wavelength.
realize that, hey, you know what, taking this into school may not be the best thing that I could possibly do right now. So I almost feel like he may have set himself up
Yes.
to be a highlight, to be in the spotlight.
Correct. There's that. And then there's also the fact that what he didn't even really look like... I read an article today that basically picked through what he did and what he built and how he constructed it, and they basically were like, he took the guts out of a clock and put it in a pencil case.
Yeah.
He didn't actually really invent much, and if anything, it didn't even make sense for him to do it that way.
No.
So why would he...
I mean, look what he's getting now. He's getting a trip to the White House,
absolutely. MIT's like, oh, we want you, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not a
Zuckerberg.
I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm sort of... I just try to detect BS wherever I can find it, and this all smells like BS.
It did
to me. Maybe that's the right wing stance to take, which I'm not usually with the right wing loonies, but I think in this particular case there could be there's something fishy going on.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
I think so.
So Brendan's back. Hi.
Back, guys. Getting a little tour of this place.
Nice.
Learning some of the history is what I was learning.
Oh, good.
Good. Yeah.
That's
Did you
the
get
old room, yeah.
Did you get a tour of the production room? There's a lot of history in there.
I peeked in. I did not go in, though.
I don't think they have the couch in there anymore. That's where a lot of history was, literally.
I learned it's the land of unwanted machines over there. That's where anything that's used in here, and then we don't need it, we put it over there.
Yep, to a degree it is. When I used to do the show up here, I used to pretty much lock myself in that room for a couple of hours and just. We used to have, we had a cart machine back then, and you used to have to, it was basically, it just looked like an 8-track machine, and you would record any promos or commercials or anything else that you had for in between songs, skits, bits, anything, you would record on those things, and then you would actually play it in the cart machine. What the hell is going on out there?
Using a drill.
He's building a display case.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He's not drilling into some student or something.
I was wondering what was happening.
He's become a dentist.
In his spare time. But, so that's basically what we used to use that room for. What it's used for now, I couldn't tell you. I know that the board that used to be in this room is in there, so as far as the land of hand-me-down electronics, yeah, it basically does follow that what used to be here is now there. Beyond that, I don't really know what they use the room for. Probably the same sort of stuff. I was here so long ago that I remember when they had a reel-to-reel in there that actually worked. Like just a reel-to-reel tape player, and I used it to some frequency.
Well, I also learned we can broadcast from in there, so if something ever goes wrong here,
if we ever had to, it's not a desirable situation, but if it was ever necessary, it would be possible.
Yeah.
So, 508-531-1303. Now that we've depressed you with the news of the day, we're going to lift your spirits with some more classic rock.
Jolly good.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did we order or did we just decide?
We just decided.
Good.
We haven't ordered yet.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I was just curious. I didn't know what was happening.
Do you want to maybe plug the person that we ordered from?
I don't. Why don't you go for it? Because you probably know more about them than I do.
No, I don't know anything about it.
Steve, why don't you plug them? You probably know more than Jared does at this
Well, I
point.
presume we're going to order from Chessman's again.
You presume correctly.
Yes. So, Chessman's.
There you go.
Is he going to write us in? I don't have my ad copy from last week that had all their hours written down and everything.
They're open sometime to sometime.
I don't even remember.
2 a.m. That's
Don't
the
go
thing.
to the Easton store.
No, don't say that.
Why?
Because I'm going off of one person's recommendation.
Nobody.
I can't guarantee.
I read that on the thing.
I don't know.
On the Yelp, it says don't go there.
On the Yelp.
On the Yelp.
On the Yelp.
Yeah, it says don't go to the Eastman store. It's filled with VD.
You and VD.
I wish
What
you'd
is it?
get quiet.
It's always like there's a theme with Jared of something that he's just going to mention 100 times. Like, remember the week it was the back alley?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, now this week it's the VD.
No, what's wrong with Van Damme?
My
Nothing.
God.
He makes quality films.
No. I disagree with that as well, but that's totally fine. Hey, you know what we got coming up on deck?
What's next?
So Gary Richrath, as we mentioned earlier in the show, I figure now is as good a time as any, because you know Mikey D is going to be back around 9 o'clock, and then we're going to play, so I don't really want to play 4 in a row, but I've got a 3-fer of REO Speedwagon. So what we're going to do is this 3-fer is going to be the album that Mikey D brought up is, again, You Can't Tune a Piano, but
You can't tune a fish.
You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. I knew I was going to get that wrong. So Gary Richrath produced that album, but he didn't write the songs that we're playing tonight from that. But the 3-fer that we got coming up is 3 songs that he contributed directly to, both with production and he wrote them.
Okay.
So there you go.
Good.
3-fer of REO Speedwagon, and then if you don't get enough from that, you got more REO Speedwagon probably in the 9 o'clock hour. And that's how it goes. 508-531-1303. Big block of classic rock. Obviously, REO Speedwagon up next, BIM.
Saturday nights with Rob Hicks. He's like Wolfman Jack. Without the beard, money, or timeless popularity.
Coincidence? I think not.
Bridgewater's Saturday night soundtrack on 91.5 WBIM.
Heard it from a friend who...
It's The Who, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday night soundtrack. Those are the guys that if you had tickets to see them at the TD Garden, you unfortunately are not going to have tickets to see them anymore.
TF.
Well, you do have them. You just can't see, you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to see them until
Isn't
the
that
spring.
the second time that the Who screwed Boston?
Is it?
Like there was wasn't there something that happened back in their glory days when the doors were shuttered because the room was full? Like you can't.
I don't think he got viral meningitis just to upset.
No, but I'm just saying like that, like you know.
I know what to do to these guys.
Like they just closed the door out on a bunch of fans and they rioted.
No, I wasn't in Boston.
I think that was also in Boston. Also, like
the one where the fan died.
No, I don't think a fan died. I think this one also happened in Boston. The whole thing. At any rate,
yeah,
I like that other band, the Who's Who.
You don't know who they are.
They never became of anything.
Oh, good. That's probably why.
I remember working at a record store and, like, you know, like refiling everything because you had to move everything, you know?
Right.
And I refiled this band and it was like the Who Who. I'm like, who are you?
The Who Who. Nice.
You know?
That's a great name.
Who's Who or something like that.
The Guess Who did well.
Stupid.
Who's Next is doing all right.
Yeah.
No, who needs the Who? We get all these other bands with Who in the title.
Who needs you? That's
We're
another good band.
Who needs who? 508-531-1303. You need classic rock in your life.
That's what veins.
And you need to request
Pumped
it.
in.
Is also what you need to do. So 508-531-1303. Like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. It's 7:36, and the food process is underway, so that's good.
We'll see if they match up to last week.
Well, you know, we might get the food at 11. Who knows?
Well, that's great. I mean, we can take it. We can.
I tell the guy, like, we need we need these things, and he goes, oh, okay.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
good.
it was going to take a while. You know, like when you're going to, as a teacher's like, you got 40 pages of stuff to read, plus, I don't know what I'm talking about.
You're pretty accurate.
As usual.
It almost actually sounds like you maybe should have ordered earlier, like somebody maybe suggested at some
Did you
point.
suggest earlier?
Yeah, I
Did you
did.
suggest?
I think I said like 45
It is
minutes
your job to
before you
remember that
actually.
stuff, isn't it?
Steve, do you remember
Drop the
in
ball
the
on that
segment before when I said, have we actually moved on this? I said, is any decision being made? I was sort of coaxing this
Spending the
through
works.
process, trying to... I usually try to see if we can order food or start ordering in the 6 o'clock hour, and then nothing happens. And then by around 7, I'm usually like, okay, we gotta make a move here. Something's gotta happen. What's happening? Smells like popcorn down the hall.
There's stuff going on.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm wondering what it is.
What is that?
Like popcorn.
Because there's food.
There is food. What is
Let's
that?
go
'Cause
kick the doors in.
What is that?
We're
Because
here.
there's food and I want something. Mikey D would do that.
Yeah, he would.
No, they've got a big table set up down there.
It's like the only thing he would do.
Maybe it's going to be the smell of women's perfume coming down the aisle again.
Oh,
There was a time when they had like some kind of an event down there, and there was just like women's perfume just strangling you all the way down here. And they
I'm
were
surprised that didn't give you vertigo.
well, I didn't have it then,
Really?
pal. Yeah.
Probably was the beginning of
Well,
it.
no, because I might have a different type.
Oh, well,
Yeah. No.
Maybe it was like a women's perfume showcase or
I
something.
don't know. It was
I
bad.
don't know.
pretty much what it was.
Yeah. I mean, it was good sights, but not smells.
It's like metal detectors and perfume. That's all I remember from that
Metal
night.
detectors were there too. What are you doing there? Who knows? Clocks.
Yes.
Richards.
Richards.
You know, you can have a pen that says "Don't be a Richard" on it.
Yep. Or I should make new ones. We should make new ones that says "Don't be a Kathy Hunt."
Maybe for
Stick to Richard for this semester.
maybe for, yeah, I was gonna say maybe for next. Let's stick with one slogan at a time. We'll get that.
Richard
accomplished.
Heed.
Oh, geez. How you hanging in, Brendan? How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Anybody who's like, who the hell is Brendan? Brendan Smith is our intern, and he's still here, and he's still toughing it out with us. And
Oh, yeah.
I think he's I
Got
think
some
he's
incentive
enjoying
now.
it.
We got food on the way.
He's a real person. He's not like a I lost the word I was going to use. A euphemism. Like Richard Heed.
Right. Correct. He is. Yes, he is a real person.
He's a real live
flesh and
person.
blood
which is
right
why
here.
we're able to talk to him right
Yeah.
now at this current moment. Anything else going on with you guys?
You know, just making up names.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
I know all too well. So we're gonna give Brendan one of those. Brendan, did you pick up one of those books back there?
Yeah.
I have not yet, no.
All right, before you leave, pick one up, because everything that's in the back of that book is what I'm supposed to teach you.
Yeah.
You realize what he hasn't told
Just
you.
a crash course.
Right. If you start realizing, like, basically go to the section near the back that says, like, it just basically says new interns at the top, I think, and then there's just there's literally like a bulletproof list.
It's one page, that's it?
Correct. Of things that you need to know. And as we approach the end of the semester, if all of a sudden you realize, like, hey, Rob hasn't shown me 2/3 of these things, Richard, then you're going to want to get in touch with me and be like, you need to teach me these things, like, right now.
Come to you in a rage.
Correct, basically.
Listen here, you Richard.
And I'll be like, Jared will show you. Like, no, it says right here that you're supposed to show me, and I don't know. Please show me. So, yeah, just hound me for that stuff, and make sure you pick a book on your way out.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And you can make notes in the book with your Saturday Night Soundtrack pen.
Exclusive.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. What else is on topic?
When do you want to talk about the thing there?
We'll talk about it when you want to talk about it.
All right. How about in the next hour at some point, or maybe in the 9 o'clock hour? How about
my thing about it.
I want to make sure we have enough time.
I want to make sure there's enough time too, and I also want to make sure, like, I'm not going to be interrupted with food. Going, hey, I'm on the second floor.
Good point.
And I don't see the staircase to the third floor, but he's on the third floor.
Yeah, it was interesting last week.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brendan.
I should just go wait outside for him.
Brendan, he's coming up with this specific circumstance because this happened. So, it was fine last semester. We had a place, we were like, Campus Pizza, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Glorious place.
Right, we were ordering from there every
place.
single week.
It was wonderful.
We had a guy who knew exactly where we were. He would bring the food up to us every single week.
You had a guy?
Yeah, we had a guy.
Yeah, Ray. He was awesome.
He was the man?
He was good.
He was the supplier. And he knew where to bring it. Like, we didn't have to go. Jared didn't have. I say we.
We didn't have to run down.
I use the term "we" loosely. Yeah. Jared didn't have to run around.
And he wouldn't even interrupt the show. I'm like, hey, I got pizza for you. Like, relax.
That sounded like Cookie Monster.
Relax, Like, we didn't have any. Like, Ray was awesome.
You got to train the new guy. You need a new Ray, basically.
Well, we were doing fine until that particular establishment got ostracized by somebody sitting not too far away from me.
In the first friggin' episode
of this year. Oh.
What are you talking
so we
about?
can't order from then anymore.
What do you think's fair?
Oh,
what's your issue? What's your beef with Campus Pizza?
Here's what happened.
I have no beef, but
the guy comes up to the door. He gives me his food.
Ray comes up to the door.
This is not Ray.
No, this isn't Ray. This is somebody else.
Because
so
Ray
kind
is
of
not
ticked me off already.
Ray's not with the establishment anymore,
Yeah.
apparently. That's
anyway. So the guy
problem
comes and he's like, "Hey, here's the money," and I'm like, he's like, "What for a tip?" I'm like, "I don't know. What do you think is fair?" He's like, "I don't know, $8." $8.
You will realize that the place at which the story goes wrong right away is, what do you think is fair? Just
you don't ask
tip
somebody
the guy something.
Yeah,
whatever you had in your hand to tip him, just tip him. So I will tip. What is happening?
He just won the lottery.
Woo! That means we all win the lottery, right?
So you shoot his idea down. You say no, not $8.
Oh yeah, no way, $8. Get out of here.
I mean, I tip $4 for a delivery person usually, and it depends on where they're coming from. And I mean, I'm talking like a delivery person. I live in Kingston. If they're coming from Plymouth, I'm gonna still tip them about $4 to come to my house because Kingston is not that far away from Plymouth. $4 is fair. F you.
See, I'm a little bit more of like a Nazi when it comes to tipping. I have a list.
Like 15, 20, what are we talking? Like
No, like, so at the top of the list, as I mentioned last show, because Rob's rolling his eyes.
Go to the list.
At the top of the list, right, is like, say, 100% for the tip, right?
Yeah.
And then everything that you don't get ticked off, like, gets marked off, and then you end up at $2, maybe less.
That's brutal, man.
Oh yeah,
right.
Well, hey, I'm just saying.
You're a stickler.
A little bit, but like I'm just like you're at a restaurant. Some people come by, they're always smiling. Hey, are you good? Yes, I'm good. You're here 5 minutes ago. Okay. Hey, you good? Go away.
Didn't we hear
People like you really scare me. I wait tables, so people like you, I will look out for.
Oh, jeez. Now I've made him an enemy.
Well, you know what the ironic part of this whole story is that Jared has a part-time job as a delivery driver.
Exactly.
Oh.
So you should know.
And how do you feel when people stick you on the tip.
I'm fine with it.
You're okay with it?
I'm all right. Like, if my pizza's late, my pizza's late. Don't tip me. Don't. And I even tell people actively, don't tip me.
Steve, please note that I'm keeping this in mind for any time that we decide to order from upper crust or top crust or whatever it's called now. I'm going to make sure Jared delivers to us, and I'm going to be like, here's $1.50. I think that's fair.
That's fine.
Looks like it was a little late.
I delivered
I
down
have my
to
list here, and you missed these three steps.
I delivered down to the Pine Hills, and those people they're more brutal than I am. I'll show up.
That's where I work, man. Is the Pine Hills.
It's like a small pizza, right? I'll come all the way the hour and a half it takes or whatever it is to get down to Pine Hills, right?
And Pine Hills are all rich down there too.
And it's like a small pizza, and then I get the money, and there's like zero tip. And at first it was a little startling, like this is like a $15 gas drive here, pal.
Yeah.
And you're gonna give me $5 or nothing on a small pizza? Like, that's a $10 pizza, and I'm coming down here to give it to you all the way down here.
How dare you?
A little bit, and then after a while, I was like, you know what? I don't care because this isn't my, I don't care. Like, I guess it makes sense. The pizza's a little overpriced.
I think anytime you work in a job where you get tipped, it changes you as a tipper yourself.
Oh, I bet. Well, I've always been this way with the tips. I just can't stand someone like coming to the table 100 times asking if I need my drink refilled. I will let you know. That's it.
Yeah, all right.
That works
don't
really
come
well
to the
on
table
radio.
40 times asking like I take a sip and then they come over like, hey, do you need some more water? No, I don't need any more water. Go away.
Let me.
Once again, that worked really well on radio.
Right. Hand gestures, by the way, don't come across.
Well, see, if we start streaming via video,
we're not gonna do that.
Awesome.
We're not gonna do that
because that hilariousness that happened over there would have been.
It's not happening.
Okay,
it's not happening.
Anyway, there you go.
There you go.
Story.
All right.
Where do you work over there?
Mirbeau, it's called.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Never been.
It's a hotel.
Is it that big, fancy looking thing? Yeah,
big castle looking, majestic place. It's great.
Yeah. It looks like it's like in Tuscany or something.
It is. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. How's the food?
Excellent. You really should come in sometime.
I might.
Yeah.
I might.
But I'll make sure to not come over to your table. I'll come over once and make sure you have the water you need and then leave.
Yeah.
And then wait until you motion me to come back.
Brandon, actually, do me a favor. Go over once and then never go over again and see how he likes it.
Yeah.
Be like, I haven't had my water refilled. Sorry. Thought you were all set.
Then that's fine. And then he'll get a nice tip.
He'll get a nice tip for
yeah.
not being around.
Exactly. Here you go. Here's $20. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Just saying. Not that you're a bad guy. You're good to be around.
All right.
Just saying.
I'm going to do some more classic rock.
Speaking of this.
Yeah.
Like, you always like read in books or like movies or whatever, like people just treat interns terribly. Like, oh man, you need to go.
I thought I was just going to be fetching coffee this whole time.
Seriously.
I was not ready to even be on the mic.
Oh,
right?
You were actually prepared to do that?
I was dead
We might
serious.
want to rethink some of the things that we task him with. Because it all depends on what they're willing to do.
I was ready to be in the car driving to get your food right now. Like, not even to have it
We
delivered.
missed an opportunity.
Oh, seriously,
Yeah.
you're willing to do that? Oh, we didn't tell you. What happens is the first week you're on the mic. The next few weeks, you drive around and get us food and stuff.
Are you with us for a while?
Well,
with us
hopefully.
as
Well, ever since we fired the other guy.
What's his? We never heard from him again. We just sent him home before he even started.
I think I'm here. No, you're not. Get out of here.
Okay,
Go home.
bye.
That sucks. I feel bad for that guy.
I think it was legitimately a mistake.
Really?
I don't know.
Do you now?
I have no idea. We're going to play more music.
All right.
508-531-1303. Another big block of classic rock coming up. SNS on BIM.
The Saturday night soundtrack with Rob Hicks is on 91.5 WBIM. Bridgewater's weekend all-request classic rock experience.
Triumph 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve
I'm
Rimmer,
here.
Brendan Smith.
Right here.
How's everyone doing?
We're doing good.
Oh, good.
Good. You okay?
It's
Oh, okay.
3 minutes after 8, and we're doing Classic Rock till 11 o'clock, so hang out with us. Give us a call, 508-531-1303. Once again, I'd like to point out that you can like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack, and you can follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. We have our own YouTube channel. I've already told Brendan all about the YouTube channel and told him he should check it out. How was your face? Search for Saturday Night Soundtrack on YouTube, filter for channels. We're the first thing that comes up. All our on-air highlights are on there. It's worth it, so check it out. So something came to my attention this week, and I don't know if any of you are aware of this, and I was actually pretty sorry that I didn't find out about this myself. So I think, and from what I could tell from my research, that this invention goes back at least 5 years, if not more. But have you guys heard of the Euro Club?
The Euro Club?
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
Euro Club?
Not Euro like EURO. It's Euro like URO.
No, never heard of it.
Well, we got an infomercial here for you that's going to help shed some light on this. And after this, you too might want to... Anybody play golf?
Nope.
Okay.
I'd fall asleep first.
All right, so I don't play golf either, so this product is not for anyone in this room, but it could be for... It could be for one of our listeners, so here it is.
Drank a lot of water. I really have to go. People are waiting to tee off, and there's no restroom out here.
Guys, how many times has this happened to you? Come on, you know you can't hold it in that long. Don't worry, I've got the perfect gift for you. Introducing the Euro Club, the discreet sanitary solution for your urgent relief. Created by a board-certified urologist, it looks like an ordinary golf club, but it contains a special reservoir built into the grip to relieve yourself. The Euro Club comes with a special towel to keep your privacy. And it appears to everyone that you're just checking out your club. At first it seems comical, but believe me,
it seems comical.
When you really have to go,
Very
it's
comical.
a lifesaver. Sanitary, leak-proof, easy to clean, and no more embarrassing moments in the bush. Dramatically improve your golf scores for only $49.95. And when you order now, get a second Euro Club for half price. That's 2 for only $74.92. Club now at 866-999-4 €. That's 866-999-4 €. The Euro Club, the only club in your bag guaranteed to keep you out of the woods.
Guaranteed to keep you out of the woods.
And out of the bush as well.
So,
glad to hear.
Nobody has this visual. I might actually tweet I think I'm going to tweet the infomercial out there because you need the visual to fully appreciate the brilliance of this product. Basically what it is it's all like, it's a golf club.
Googling it as we
It's a
speak.
golf club you can take a pee in, and essentially what you do is you unscrew the cap, and it's got this little like cape thing that you can put.
Is it the cap at where you hold it or down near the actual end?
It's the cap where you hold it. Because what happens is you're supposed to unscrew it, and you're supposed to be able to put the golf club on the ground, but like you've got sort of like this cape thing.
Well, she said it was a little towel.
Yeah, it's like a little towel cape thing that you put over yourself. So like you're just standing there, urinating, like on the golf course, but you've got this little towel sort of covering up everything that's going on.
Cap opens up.
I can't believe this is. I thought this was like a parody, maybe.
And then
this is an actual thing.
This is an actual thing. And then you get to carry your golf club full of pee around until you get back to the clubhouse. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
There's the little towel that saves your embarrassment as you've got your noodle down there.
I feel like that wouldn't be a large enough reservoir.
That's why you can get two. You get the second one half off.
Can you imagine trying to do the switch?
Exactly.
I feel like that would be a little bit difficult. Like if in one sitting you needed to use like
to cap one and uncap the other.
What if you had to use a Euro Club and a half? You know what I mean? Like how do you make the?
Well, this guy's doing it with two buddies standing right next to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the whole point is supposed to be that quote unquote no one realizes that you're doing it. Really?
Oh, I want one of these.
That seems pretty obvious to me.
Well, you know how for years I've been waiting to use Depends? Maybe this is my thing now. I can just use this club instead.
Well, just remember.
No more embarrassing moments in the bush.
In the bush. In the bush. In the bush. In the bush.
That is marvelous.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's amazing that we live in the 21st century where these inventions can take place.
These three guys.
Yeah, all three of them. Like
all at the same time.
Do you want to at least time it so that, like, hey, maybe one of us can go and then the other one can go, and you know? Oh, and our food's here.
How many boxes did you get?
And what are these called again? Tucanos?
Tucanos. They don't say anything.
They can't just say small pizza.
It's not really a pizza. It's like a calzone deal, right?
Yes.
Oh gosh!
It's not a. Oh my God!
It's not small. It's not small at all.
That's not small at all.
I don't know which one's which, so.
Or barbecue chicken.
Am I on the air with this?
Yeah, you're on the air with that. Absolutely. That's why that red light's on.
How do we know which is which?
I don't know.
Oh God! Did they not write on the?
Well, that one there, I know what that one is.
That's you. Without.
That's me without onions.
What did you order?
You have to touch the food.
Well, no. Do we have knives or something? We can just cut it. I mean, these are calzones. Didn't they give us knives that we could cut into them and just see what they are inside?
No.
How do we not have knives with calzones?
I don't know.
I'm already disenchanted with this process. Already the Tucano is not necessarily what it was cracked up to be. How am I supposed to...
Do you realise we've got dead air right now?
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine, but I don't understand. Okay. All right, so mine is in here. I don't know how I'm going to... I assume I'm eating it with my hands.
Yep. By order of elimination, I think this is mine.
This should be yours. So, so nobody else got steak and cheese? Is that...
Holy crap. I gotta say, that these...
Oh, my God. It's like a bull in a china shop.
Is it your first time putting on headphones?
Yeah,
like
every day.
With a microphone in front of your face?
Yeah. I gotta say that these do not look like what they do on the photo.
Well, remember I couldn't get an actual photo from Chessman's? I had to just...
No, it's on the Yelp page.
Oh.
And they look smaller, like, you know, like a slightly overlarged Hot Pocket.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he hands me these things, and they're heavy.
Well, how much were they a piece, if I can ask?
$7.
Okay.
I mean, that's not bad for
no,
what they
that's
look
not bad
like.
for the size of these things.
If we know what they are.
That's a solid pound. That's more than a pound. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
Pound and a half.
Yeah. Jesus. So what were we talking about before we were rudely interrupted? Like I knew we were gonna be.
Can I? Do you mind if? Do you think anybody's going to care if I play this again? I'd like to play this again just for Jared.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So we were.
I'll give you visuals.
Yeah, we were discussing the Euro Club.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the commercial for it.
Drank a lot of water. I really have to go. People are waiting to tee off, and there's no restroom out here.
Yep.
Guys, how many times has this happened to you? Come on, you know you can't hold it in that long. Don't worry, I've got the perfect gift for you. Introducing
Steve
the
is
Euro
providing
Club,
Jared
a
visuals
discreet sanitary solution
to go
for
along
your
with this
urgent
listening
relief.
experience.
Created by a board-certified urologist, it looks like an ordinary golf club, but it contains a special reservoir
You know
built
what you're
into the grip
inserting there.
to relieve yourself. The Euro Club comes with a special towel to keep your privacy. And it appears to everyone that you're just checking out your club.
I like
At
that you're
first it
pointing
seems
out
comical,
each
but
piece.
believe me, when you really have to go,
I'm
it's
sorry.
a lifesaver.
I'm sorry. If I see a
Sanitary,
guy,
leak-proof, easy to clean, and no more
got a phone call already.
Hey, somebody's ordering
Maybe
one.
they want to order the Euro Club. BIM.
Can you guys please play some music?
Why would we do that on a radio show?
That wasn't a rhetorical question.
No.
Oh, I can't hear you.
What do you want to hear?
Nirvana?
What do you want to hear about Nirvana?
Not Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Anything but that.
So you don't want to hear It Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Yes.
Okay. But you don't have a preference?
Don't have a preference.
Okay, good.
All right, we'll get that on the next block.
All right.
What's the name?
Dan.
James?
Dan.
Dan. All right, we got it.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Okay.
I'm gonna quickly note because that guy seems like he wanted to hear some music ASAP.
Yes, he did.
I'm just gonna say, if I see a guy like that on the golf course with one of those friggin' things, I'm gonna punch him right in the face.
Well, it's just so that he doesn't have any embarrassing.
I don't
No
care.
more embarrassing moments in the bush.
In the bush, in the bush, in the bush, in the bush.
No.
Yep.
Let's get to Nirvana.
Yep. All right.
Before Dan calls back and yells at us.
Well, we'll get back to whatever we got on deck, and then we'll play Nirvana after that, and we'll eat some food.
Good. This giant pound of food.
There's so much here. There's so much.
Do we know that Brendan and I have got the right ones?
That's what I don't know.
I'm trying to use my sense of smell right now.
Trying to use my sense of smell.
Barbecue chicken is what I have, and it certainly smells like barbecue chicken.
Okay, because mine shouldn't smell like barbecue. And it doesn't.
Look at that.
We're smelling our food, just so you guys can know.
Why are we still on air?
Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Relax.
What did you order?
Caesar. Chicken Caesar. It should have bacon in it.
Yeah, yep.
No, we're good.
Oh, sorry.
Classic rock coming up. SNS on BIM.
Those major market stations have high-profile sponsors, hosts with 30 years of experience and over 20,000 watts of power. Well, we have a British guy. Check and mates. Steve Rimmer is on this Saturday night soundtrack on BIM.
New England is on 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS radio show. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer across from me. Brendan Smith still hanging out. How's everyone?
We're good.
We're making it.
Oh, good. So, big block there at Classic Rock. We got some requests in there. James, who wanted us to shut up and play some music. We played some Nirvana for him. I thought it was Dan. I forget.
Dan.
Oh, it was Dan? All right. So it was Dan. Well, he told us to shut up, so I don't really... got all that in there for you, and we got requests coming up, too, and more classic rock. We got classic rock until 11 o'clock, so call us up, 508-531-1303. It's 8:50.
Oh, wow.
And you can like us on Facebook, and you can, that's just Saturday Night Soundtrack. You can search for us and follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. Check out our YouTube channel. All you got to do is type in Saturday Night Soundtrack in the YouTube search and filter for channels, and we're right there. Also, check us out on live stream. If you're outside the range of Bridgewater Radio, then you can check out the Livestream app, which is free at the iTunes and Google Play stores, and you can look at livestream.com as well.
Yep.
So, now that we've got all that out of the way, Jared and I have some... everybody buckle in.
Oh, good.
Here we are.
Jared and I have some important things to discuss.
Do we ever?
You can throw that out. Both of us, not at the same time, but at different points yesterday, took in the film Black Mass, and we are now going to tell you our feelings about it.
Oh, God.
We are going to start with Jared.
Why me?
I don't know, because you have strong feelings about this.
All right. Where do I begin?
I was going to give like a minute and a half summary of how I felt about the movie.
Where do I begin, sir?
Wherever you would like to begin.
All right. The year is 1982.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe we should progress. Somebody call and tell Jared to speed it up just a little bit.
All right. So, I grew up on the other side of the river from where this man did his job, right?
Right.
I grew up in a town where he laid his head, right? I've always been interested in him for as long as I can remember. So I'm well researched on the man.
The him and the man we're talking about is Whitey Bulger, in case anybody's not aware. You should be aware, but in case you're not, the film Black Mass is about Whitey Bulger and his reign of crime from 1975 through 1994 when he became a fugitive from justice.
95.
Or 95, whatever.
Anyway, so, so then it all came to a point where I think you mentioned somewhere that someone should write, this is before he was captured, that someone should write a script for a movie for the situation.
Yeah, there should be because there had already been The Departed, which was the Scorsese film.
But that's not really the thing, though.
I get that, but hold on. There was always The Departed, where Jack Nicholson was loosely based on Whitey Bulger. My point was somebody needed to make an actual film about Whitey Bulger.
Yeah. So I said challenge accepted. So I wrote the script. I started writing the screenplay with you, right? But we developed it as a 4-hour miniseries on HBO or something, right?
Right.
Great, because we're nerds. Go figure. So we write this, right? And I said at the very last period, I remember this distinctly, I was like, this guy's going to get captured. And then all the Pandora's boxes opened up and everybody else will want to do it. So anyway, so we write it, and then it happens, and then he gets captured. Then we hear the movie's going to be made.
The caveat that we should list here is we didn't fully write it, but there was a whole bunch that got written, most of it by Jared, because I didn't really have a lot of time.
His contribution to the screenplay was more. More. I'd write, and you'd be like, more.
Excuse me, I believe I made notes about songs that should be used.
Actually, you didn't. I'm still waiting on that list.
Oh, I'll get it to you.
You never got it to me.
When you get the T-shirts to us, I'll get the list to you.
They're coming. All right. Anyway,
continue.
So then he was captured, and then the Pandora's box is opened, and everybody was like, "We're doing a film." Ben Affleck and Matt Damon are doing a film, producing or whatever. And then this guy, Scott Cooper, threw his name in the hat, and then I was interested because I liked his other films, Wild at Heart and all that other stuff.
You mean threw his hat in the ring?
Yep, that's what I meant.
Okay.
Anyway, don't correct me.
I'm just making sure everyone knows what you said.
Right. So then I was interested, and then Johnny Depp's name came in, and I'm not so interested anymore because I don't like Johnny Depp. He, you look at it, was never in a good film beforehand. No. A lot of his films weren't massive hits. He had a few flakings of good movies, just like Nicolas Cage. That's a fact, right? Anyway, right?
I give you
and then
that.
he does the pirate movies, and all of a sudden he's a megastar. And then this whole movie, then all this other stuff with the movie comes out, and they're like, oh man, this has to be the return of Johnny Depp because he sucked for the last 10 years. But he hasn't really gone anywhere. Just became a pirate. But anyway, my point is this: the movie came out, I watched it. After digesting it, I have to say, it's like an 8 out of a 10.
Really?
For this guy.
I mean, that's still pretty good.
It is pretty good, because, but my thing of it is, though, it seems like someone took Post-it notes of the entire story, or at least the story that they're depicting here, and just threw it on the wall and filmed that. Just exactly like, all right, we're at the end of this plot segment, moving on. Here's this plot segment, moving on.
Like it wasn't cohesive? What do you mean?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of cohesiveness to it.
There was not it wasn't cohesive, and there were things that were out of chronological order within his life.
Yeah.
It was choppy, is what you're saying? Like
a little,
skipped,
yeah, it was a little
time.
choppy. Yeah, it kind of jumped, and then they showed you, like, here's 1975. Okay, here's this incident, which might not have happened.
Right.
And then here's, like, this other incident, you know, like in 81 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that, the years no longer show up on the screen.
And speaking to someone who is by his own, you're an expert of sorts with the man.
Yeah.
Is it accurate, or is it kind of fluffed some things up?
Some parts are, like, really fluffed over. Some things are glossed over. Some things are conglomerated into each other. Like, one of my biggest pet peeves, no spoilers here, is that like, you know, he's working out, like, right, in the garage. And it's the first time you ever see the garage.
Sure.
First, that's not the garage. It was filmed, whatever. Now you're nitpicking. But, like, he's working out, and then Stevie comes in for no reason. He's like, oh, hey, Stevie, we're gonna do with the FBI. What? Yeah. Oh, okay. But wait, that's bad. No, it's not. It's good. Okay. End of scene. What? Like, really? You know, and so, like, there's, like, little moments like this that they use smaller moments to glue together the bigger picture.
Big picture, yeah.
And you're like, oh, man, it's been, like, bummed out. Now, like, to get to the meat of it, right, Johnny Depp, he did a good job. He did a good job, I think. The problem with that is, though, is it's a weird situation. Like I told Steve earlier, it's like you know a song backwards and forwards and all the notes to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear someone cover that song the same way, and you recognize it, but it's slightly askew. It's a little off. Whereas, like, you know, like other actors who portray famous people, you're like, wow, that's spot on. That's pretty good. This one was slightly askew. And I don't know if that's because he kept on doing the Johnny Depp eyes, you know what I mean? Like where he kind of like squints his eyes at you.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
You
know, but like for the most part, the film was good. The pace, I think the film was something else, and then somewhere along the line, someone was like, this needs to be more like Scorsese, and then they cut and pasted enough.
How was the soundtrack?
There was none.
See, that's the thing, is like, Jared says he thought it was more Scorsese-like, and I disagreed only because I didn't feel like it had... Scorsese films have Scorsese's fingerprint all over them.
And they all have an excellent soundtrack.
The editing, the soundtrack, and I didn't feel like he was going for any of that here. I felt like it resembled Scorsese films because of the theme.
Wait,
and
Scorsese didn't direct it,
and
did
the
he?
settings.
No,
Scott Cooper
no.
did.
But what I mean by the Scorsese vibe, right, is that like Scorsese does have a thing, right? He has his editor, and then he has the sound man, right,
Sure.
and all that other stuff. But there's other like little bits of it, like the way the camera is angled.
Yep. He does those little freeze frame shots sometimes.
Yeah, like the little tracking shots. Like he's the way he does a tracking shot is different than, say, like Christopher Nolan, right? The way he does a tracking shot, and it's interesting.
Can you stop moving your mic?
No, and it's interesting, right?
Please.
So, like, you look at other directors that do like crime drama films, and then the way that guy moves the camera is different. Even all right, hang on. Now I'm getting off track. Out of the Furnace, the film.
We got like 2 minutes, just so you know.
The other film that this guy directed, Out of the Furnace, right? You see the way he moves the camera, and you see the way he sets up shots and all that stuff, right? It's his own style. It's the same thing as Crazy at Heart, right? But then you watch this film, and you see that the way he moves the camera and all that other stuff, the way he compositions the shot is similar to Scorsese's. That's what I'm saying. Like, so, like, outside of the other stuff, that's what's there.
I got you.
At any rate.
So it was an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Okay.
Did it restore your faith in Depp?
No, because I always hated the guy. I don't see. That's the thing. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Johnny Depp is back because of this film." He was never gone in the first place.
But when I saw Johnny Depp in this movie, I felt like, and I was talking to Steve about this on the way in here. Like, I did not get the sense, like, when you watch a movie like Ray with Jamie Foxx playing Ray Charles, like, I didn't get that feeling like he was becoming the character. I got the feeling that, hey, look, Johnny Depp's dressed up for Halloween like Whitey Bulger, and he's doing a Whitey Bulger impression that's pretty good. Not great, but pretty good.
Well, see, for me, it was a little reverse, right? Because like it seems like, oh, there's Johnny Depp, and then the next scene would come, and oh, that's the guy I've known for as long as I've been, researching him or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then there's like little flickers of it,
That surprises me for Johnny Depp. He did a movie in it was 2006 or 7. It was the movie version of a famous book called Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Sir, I want to correct you immediately.
And he did an excellent job immersing himself.
What a surprise.
Sir, that was not 2000s.
Earlier than that?
Much.
Yeah, it was like
90s?
It was like 97, wasn't it?
Oh, God. Anyway, when he did that movie, he, really played, he, immersed himself, and he spent time with Hunter S. Thompson, and he nailed the role, I think, in every sense.
Well, that's what I mean. There's little moments in his career where he does hit it out of the park, but then there's other moments where he doesn't, and there's nothing. Like there's no he's back type of thing, because everybody references Blow when they're talking about Johnny Depp in Boston movies, right?
Right.
Because the guy's from Boston, all this other stuff.
Even though George Young was from Weymouth, I don't consider Blow to be a Boston type movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like
he's
whatever.
in California the whole time, and Cuba, and
but
Colombia and all that.
people refer to that film. They're like, oh, that was probably the last time that he actually played something with meat on it. I'm like, nah, because
I'm just nah,
because it's only when he's really in depth in it that you notice something.
I get you.
I mean, I think this is one of 3 performances where he does a good job.
The only thing I'm going to add to all this, because we got to get moving, the only thing I want to add to all this is basically I came away from the movie feeling like I liked it. I love mob movies. I love crime movies. I love Boston movies. This is one of all of those. This will be, it's a worthy addition to that sort of genre and the subgenre of Boston movies. That being said, I wished for more. I wished for more insight into Whitey Bulger as a character. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel there was enough of that. I didn't feel there was nearly enough of insight into the relationship between Whitey and Billy Bulger.
Nope.
It was kind of hold on. It was kind of glossed over. You know what I mean? So I felt like that could have used a little bit more meat. And I felt like I came away from the movie feeling as though John Connolly, played by Joel Edgerton, was actually the most interesting character of that movie.
Yeah. He came off as a cartoon, though. A little bit,
yeah.
Right, which was strange because that character was never like that.
Right.
Whatever. And then the brother aspect, right? You didn't even feel like they were brothers. They had one scene together.
Yep.
Right.
Two maybe.
Man, what?
Yeah.
And then the thing I wanted to say about the film is it had characters in it, but it didn't have character, right? This film didn't give the genre anything new.
I would agree with that.
You know what I mean? It's another run of the mill. It could have been something great. It could have been another Friends of Eddie Coyle. And if you haven't seen that film, shame on you.
Which I haven't, so shame on me.
Shame on you twice.
So it wasn't innovative, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it wasn't innovative. I mean, not all films that come out have to be innovative, but if you're going to tell a story, you gotta have to do it with some kind of.
I feel like there could be a much better overall comprehensive biopic about Whitey Bulger at some point, but that this wasn't necessarily it.
It's that right there,
and
right in front of us.
This was concentrated on. We talked about this a little bit off the air. It was concentrated on the source novel, which was Black Mass, which was a specific. They focused mostly on the relationship between Whitey Bulger and John Connolly, which obviously the movie did, but there's room for more. They could, like you said, they added things into the film that weren't in the book. They could have done more of that and given it a little bit more depth, a little bit more character, and just more insight into the people it's examining.
A little less shoehorning, where they just figure that explanation goes better for show. They have Adam Scott in there, and there's a moment where he mentions the LSD testing that he was involved in Alcatraz, and it was just he did 50 tabs of LSD. All right,
right.
You're just gonna plop that in and walk away?
You know what that is, Jared? That's exposition, and you hate exposition.
No, see, I like exposition, but there's a difference. If you're just running on, a huge tangent, telling me why, whatever, why the sky's blue, and you just go on and on and on, that's exposition for me. I don't need all that gristle on my meat.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So this conversation.
Jared gives it 8 out of 10. I'd be between 7 and 8. I might lean towards the 7. The more I think about it, and the more the more flaws come into my mind, which is aiming me towards a 7.
See, I'm gonna
but it's definitely not as low as like a 6. 7 out of 10. I think that's solid.
I'm going to see it again just so I can give it a definitive number.
I'm seeing it for the first time next week, and I'm going to go into it after this so much more aware. Pointing all these things out.
As you should.
I almost wish I didn't have this conversation.
Welcome to
I should have.
Spoilers. One of the things, right, I'll say real quick, what the hell's up with the limp?
Yeah, you were disturbed by the limp.
Oh, he has a limp in the film. Well, I don't know why. It's like, it's very, I don't even know if it's a limp, but he's like swinging his hip for some weird reason.
So a limp.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
What do you got on the radio?
Got more classic rock and requests.
Oh, yeah? By who?
By nobody. I was just saying we got requests, so people would say we got requests.
I thought you meant there was a request to get to.
No, but thank you for blowing the cover on that.
Oh, okay. Well, you blow the cover about our Facebook all the time. Like, we have one Facebook.
I want people to like us on Facebook. That's all I'm saying.
But then you just keep on telling them that we only have
Brendan,
one.
go home and like us on Facebook. You have Facebook.
First thing I'll do.
The first thing anybody ever says, like all the people that I've like basically hounded about liking us on Facebook and everything, they all come back. These are all college-age people. I don't have Facebook. The hell do you mean?
I legitimately don't have a Facebook. I just don't have one. And now I'm realizing that I need to have one for reasons like this.
Come on, dude. Do you have a Twitter? This conversation's over. We're going to play some more classic rock. Mikey D's probably going to come in the next. We got to go. What?
One little small other comment. The film was filmed in Boston. Where is everybody in the film? The film is desolate of people.
Yeah,
except for like the principals.
Right.
Where is everybody?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I'm surprised you give this an 8 out of 10. You seem like you want to give it like a 6. You're dissatisfied, it seems to me.
No, I'm satisfied. Like a lot of things were there, but then like a lot of things weren't there. Like the people.
You had high hopes. I understand.
I'm going to see it again so I can give it a definitive.
Well, let us know how you feel after that.
What are we playing?
Try to ease it down the next time.
You got to see a movie twice to really get it.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Big block of classic rock coming up. SNS BIM.
Live from the campus of Bridgewater State University. Welcome to the Saturday Night Soundtrack, the only weekend all-request classic rock experience in Massachusetts. Call now, 508-531-1303. Listen live on Channel 71 in the Bridgewater area. And check out highlights of all SNS shows anytime on the Saturday Night Soundtrack YouTube channel. Here's another legendary classic rock track to fuel your night.
I can hear what I want when I want.
Every song just rocks.
This is Bridgewater's Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, and Steve Rimmer on 91.5 WBIM.
That song's called Hum, 91.5.
It's not called Hum.
It's called Stars.
It's called Stars by the band Hum.
Sorry, he gave me this college radio crap from the 90s.
Now,
I've
whose
never heard in
request
my
was
life.
that? Mr.
That was Jared.
Yeah.
You can tell the ones that come from me and the ones that come from Jared because they'll sound starkly different.
Due time, are we going to have maybe one song in the near future from Budgie?
Yeah, we can make that happen.
We're not going to even get a comment from Mr. Hicksville over there.
I don't even, I just...
Budgie's awesome. They will punch Rush in the face.
Whoa!
We know all
Twice.
We know all about your affiliation.
Maybe competition, but I don't know about that.
It's for certain.
All right. Everybody's entitled, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Your boy Donald Trump, agrees with that.
Why are you stirring the... What's happening?
Because he knows he's going to get some remark from me. So, okay, we'll leave that to another whole talk show another time. All right. So, Mr. Hicks, talk to us.
So it's 9:33, and we're looking for requests still, 508-531-1303. And like us on Facebook, Saturday Night Soundtrack. Follow us on Twitter at SN Soundtrack. And how you guys all doing in there?
Holding on. Good. We're doing it.
Steve, I feel like you've been inordinately quiet.
I'm just tired.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay, good. Are you positive?
Yes.
Are you saving up? You know what you're doing? You're saving up all the goodness for next week.
When I can get a word in, yes.
When it's you and me, and you know what I mean.
Exactly.
I know what you're doing.
Yes.
So, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, Brendan Smith, and Mikey D are all here.
Greetings again.
Greetings again. So, I have a question that I wanted to ask you, Mike. And
fire away, brother.
I've thought of asking you this on and off throughout the time. Well, not necessarily the whole time I've known you, but at least since we started back up doing the Saturday Night Soundtrack show. And I've held off asking you just because I didn't want to get the typical Mikey D answer of, well, off the top of my head, I can think of 5 or 6. I just want one.
Okay.
Tell me, what is the craziest story from having a clean up after these kids that you've encountered in your career here. I don't grossest, weirdest, craziest. I'm looking for something like that. Does one stick out in your mind?
Only one, but it's really grungy and sloppy.
Let's get into it.
Is there a way you can sort of summarize?
Yeah. how can I word it?
And the suspense kills us all.
Well, you heard it here first. And where do you hear it from? Mikey D.
So do you want to put your name on that? Because we heard it from someone.
There was a function, either function or a type of graduation that we used to have in the winter here.
Okay.
Or something going on. Might have been when they have the dances, the girls, whatever. Okay, make a long story short. One of the stalls was being used by a lady. And then somebody used it after that. Came up to us maintainers that were milling about. Said, could you go check on one of the stalls in there? All right, man, we will. We all went in. We all come flying out. It went into the throne, but also covered the whole back wall.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
Picasso.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
All of a sudden, I think there was a Bridgewater police officer that was doing one of the many officers that were there doing it to detail. Officer so-and-so, we're going to close this down for a while, and it took about 3 or 4 of us maintainers to go in there for some time to make sure everything was the way it was supposed to be when we left.
So no one took a piece of home of the Jackson Pollock that was there, right?
How do you think of these follow-up questions? That doesn't even make sense.
You know, the honest
question. No, I get it, but I'm saying,
I was clearing it up.
Why would someone
so
take
it's funny,
home?
we even had one of the police officers from Bridgewater, not campus, I think if I can recall right, I knew who he was, retired, but he was doing the detail here.
He retired that night.
Hey, so-and-so.
I'm all done with this.
Hey, so-and-so, just stand right here. We got to close down. Make sure, if anybody starts approaching a lady, so tell them, we're in there cleaning for some time. And, that's basically what it was.
Did they ever capture the assailant?
No, she never came back and confessed.
Didn't show her face.
She's out there right now listening.
Did anybody just look did anyone just look really relieved? Wandering about, like, oh.
It's like,
God.
Show me the door for some fresh air. So, that's about the grossest thing with that, or bizarre thing. Other than that, just basically pick up, clean up, slobs at times, the basics.
So, like us up here.
But, like, no one...
we're one of the better ones. No, but that's about it. So,
nobody kicking in the wall?
Out there, and all our listeners out there, that's about as bizarre as that I've gotten in, like, almost 15 years here.
That means you guys have to step it up.
Wow. No, please don't.
Yeah,
how do you even do that?
We went in there with
so
sprays, with hoses, with this, with that, and
with hoses. He's standing in the doorway of the thing, not even getting 50 feet.
I mean, we were almost doing it in shifts. Okay, I've had enough of this. You go in there now. I had enough of this. You go in there now.
You guys get
we were like double teaming it.
Did you get like gas masks or something?
I can't recall. Probably we had the old mask on. It's like people like this really exist.
Yeah. Who was the Richard that suggested that you guys have beef stew afterwards?
You know what I could go for right now? Foot-long chili dog smothered with onions and cheese. All right. So other than that, that's about the most bizarre thing that I can recall. Other than that, I don't think anything really makes honorable mention.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Steve Jared, you know what we have to do at some point now.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, make sure it's on a Sunday or a Monday.
We're not.
Which is my weekend.
Sir, we are not here on Sunday or Monday. We're here on Saturday night.
That's why I love you, Cass.
I don't think you will later.
I appreciate that. That story did not disappoint me. I was expecting
Ask
you to.
And you shall receive.
I was expecting you to hem and haw and then not really come up with anything.
About it. Well, I didn't really have to think about it. That's probably, like I said, the top of the list. The only thing on the list.
Was that has that been years ago now? Are you over the trauma?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
So you can look at like an ear of corn and be okay.
An ear of corn?
Just give me the butter without the salt. That'd be no problem.
Good.
All right, so what else is going on, brother?
I actually want to check in with Brendan and see if he's traumatized yet.
Right. Yeah. Listen to Mikey D shoot off his big mouth. Probably.
I expected worse. Considering what I've seen among
from Mikey D or from all of
I'm
us.
still here till retirement, so who knows what's going to happen in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
We're with this guy for a while.
Yeah. Unless Brandon takes over our spot.
Do you know why Mikey D's even here? It's because of me.
Didn't know that.
You know what I mean? I was the one who introduced Mikey D to WBIM years back.
I still remember the first weeks coming up here. Every Thursday night. 6 to 9, right?
Oh, yeah.
Brandon, do you want a raincoat?
I think I'll be all right. Just an umbrella.
Yeah, that's
all right, no problem.
I think your side is good.
All right, so we're going to get hit with some music. Anything else you want to know? Like some retired Marine fighting off a bear to save his little poochie?
Well, no.
Remember that from weeks ago?
Yes, there hasn't been an update on that story yet. I think Carl is still... I think Carl and his little poochie are still just fine.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're still good. Mikey, would you ever want to buy a product called the Euro Club?
Would I want to buy a what?
Would you want to buy a... Do you golf?
No, I'm not a fan of golf.
Okay. No, this product wouldn't be for
I'm not
you.
a fan of idiot sticks.
They have a product which is actually it's a golf club, and it's like hollow, so that you can...
What the hell am I going to do with a hollow golf club?
Well, you take the top off and you pee in it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little cape that you put over yourself so that you can hide the,
Oh, you mean when you're out in the greens out there?
Yeah, exactly. You can hide the little Mikey, and then you can do your business, and...
It's so you don't need to use the bushes, basically.
Yeah. Basically. So, if you ever decide to take up golf...
If I was to use a golf club, I'd use it to somebody I don't like wrapping around their neck for a bow tie, maybe, but that's about it.
Here we go with the violence. I'm offering the man a way to urinate on a golf course, and he's asked to turn to violence.
Hey, I have no problem.
Everything has to become violent.
Hey, 5 nights a week, I got many urinals to urinate in here at the campus center, so that's no issue.
But it's good.
Unless I want to play golf inside the hallways in here, little miniature golf.
I don't know why I opened this door. What is wrong with me? I should have just played REO Speedwagon.
Next time, keep your damn mouth shut, all right?
Apparently so. Hey, so we're going to hear some REO Speedwagon. This is the last track that we're going to hear from them tonight. Yep. And again, this is in honor of Gary Richrath.
One of my all-time top 10
lead guitarist. But we're not going to get into who your favorite guitarists are because we know you're going to give us a list. So we'll just leave it at. We'll just leave it at it. He was one of your favorites, and
Definitely.
65 years old, just passed away this week. This one again is from one of the albums that he produced. He didn't. I don't believe he check. He didn't write this. Oh, actually, he did.
Him and Kay Cronin?
Yeah, he wrote this track with Kevin Cronin. There were a lot on this album that he didn't write, but he produced the whole album. But this one he actually wrote.
So I'm ready, because I haven't heard this cut in many, many, many years.
So once again, this is off You Can Tune a Piano, but You Can't Tune a Fish. It's the last track on that one, and it's called Say You Love Me or Say Goodnight. It's the last track on side 1, I believe, correct?
That's what it says, my friend.
That's what it looks like.
Classic rock. Nowhere else but BIM. And I'm psyched because we have a new intern up here.
There you go.
We're in the ropes.
He's going to be so frightened after a couple of weeks. I'm surprised he's still smiling, to be honest with you. I'm surprised it's still okay.
I'm learning a lot from Mikey D. I'll tell you that much.
Most people don't say that.
Nobody says that.
It's the first time it's ever been uttered.
Here's some REO Speedwagon for you. 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. You listen to SNS on BIM. Steve Miller Band, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. SNS Radio Show, Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, Brandon Smith.
The usual suspects.
Absolutely. And Mikey D is left, so some of the air is, it's all downhill from here. You know what I mean? The air has been sucked out of the room.
He's been arrested.
We've only got 57 more minutes to go.
Arrested. Again.
Hey, Steve.
Yo.
Last week, we didn't run into the problem that we thought we were going to run into near the end of the evening.
No, we didn't.
If you catch my drift.
Uh-huh.
Did we see somebody, or was that like a false sighting? Because I thought
that was a false idea.
Okay, good. Because I was trying to figure out what the situation was going to be. You know, when we leave, I was trying to figure out what the situation was going to be tonight, and I couldn't. And I couldn't figure it out.
No, we didn't see anybody today.
Okay.
No, the blonde-haired kid popped his head in.
He did, but then I thought at some point later in the evening, I thought we actually saw the other one.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Can I just make a thing here?
Yeah, absolutely. Make a thing.
Yeah, we could easily get this sorted out. Intern. Right?
Continue?
Yeah. Well, we'll have to continue off air.
Yes.
But yeah, we can get you to fix this.
All right.
Are you going to actually assign? I'm not even sure.
First assignment done.
I don't actually know if this semester there's anything to fix, though, because if this...
It hasn't been so far. So.
Yeah, I mean, knock on... Well, this is actually wood. Knock on wood, I think we've been actually doing pretty okay.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, we should just...
Like, why
if we have an intern, we should just...
Why tempt fate?
I should have had him go get the food, because that guy was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, especially after he was like, I thought I was going to be getting you guys food and, like, bringing you coffee and whatnot. I mean, I don't really want coffee, but if he wants to bring us stuff, I'm for that.
Yep.
I know. The time to, like, treat me like that and make me okay with it is past. Now I think you guys are all super nice. You've missed the opportunity.
Well,
that train has left.
Did we, though? Because now we could just be like, well, that was just to, that was
ease
just to
you into our
right.
crap.
That was just to make sure that we had you right where we wanted.
So you didn't leave in the first 10 minutes.
Right, exactly. Because if you leave in the first 10 minutes, who's going to get our stuff?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I think this is pretty.
At any rate, so we can fix that situation with the intern.
All right. Well, that's
Done.
good.
What's
well,
next?
if it's necessary to be fixed, then we'll fix it. I want a yay or nay from you guys. This is another one of those bands coming out with an album. I think it's coming out next month. Let me actually double check this. But it's one of Jared's favorite bands. So Def Leppard has a.
Oh yes, they do.
Def Leppard's got a new record coming out. I believe. Let me just double check. But I believe it is coming out near the end of October. And there's one track that's available now. This was odd to me because at first I had to look at it because I was like, is this like one of those greatest hits where there's going to be a new, you know how they put out a greatest hits, but then they put out one track that's new. So I didn't know if it was going to be that because the album is actually called Def Leppard. And I found it very difficult to believe that Def Leppard had not done,
I don't think they ever did.
An eponymous self-titled album. But apparently they hadn't because they're putting out October 30th when this is coming out. The album's just called Def Leppard. The song's called Let's Go. And I might just, tell Jared that he's exempt from this. Maybe Steve, you and I can just do a yay or nay whether this track's any good.
I never liked them.
So I'm just going to do a yay or nay on whether this track's any good.
The beat goes on when we hit showtime.
That's the drums. That's definitely the drums. Does Tom want to get on this?
So, I'm going to give this a yay. The reason I'm going to give it a yay is because it sounds like Def Leppard. It doesn't sound like... Hey, remember when we were listening to Keith Richards the other week, and we were kind of like, why is he trying to sound like Dylan? What's going on? It doesn't sound... You know what I mean? Like, it didn't... This is classic Def Leppard.
No, I would have
25
to
to
agree
30
with that.
years later. So I give it a yay with the caveat that if you like Def Leppard, it's a yay. I happen to like Def Leppard, so for me it's a yay. For you guys, F yourself.
It's the same effing drums as Pour Some Sugar on Me.
Don't worry about the drummer. I actually... To your point, though, I heard a comedian the other day...
Listen to that song and listen to Pour Some Sugar on Me. It's the same damn thing.
It still just sounds like them. I heard a comedian the other day who was talking about the new track, and he was like, I'm not a fan of Def Leppard. I prefer my musicians to have all their limbs.
Right? When you go to our YouTube page, I don't know if it's on that highlight reel.
I'm sure it is.
But there's a thing.
Oh, it absolutely is.
A highlight reel with me just riffing. And I was riffing on Def Leppard pretty bad because it's warranted. Like, you're not going to do a drum solo.
I can probably
get the
find
hell
it,
off the
as a matter of
stage.
fact. Give me a second. We're going to indoctrinate...
What if they just use the exact same drums? They just, like...
I bet they did because they're like, oh, F, this guy doesn't have an arm. You know? So we'll just do the same boom, boom, chee, boom, you know? Get off the stage.
Steve, you realize that I just kind of do this to stir the pot.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
Get off
absolutely
the
necessary.
stage. God.
Absolutely.
God, just you know what I mean? Just.
Are you looking for your Julie Andrews thing in there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I want to show Brandon the type of people
And all
we're
our new
dealing with.
listeners, because they missed it. Here's the thing. It's great.
All right, so this is
I'm intrigued.
this is basically just a collage of Jared complaining about stuff all throughout, basically since he started this show almost a year ago. So hold on here, wait for it.
You need to add tonight to it. You need to add his rant on Black Mass.
Whiskers on kittens,
I don't like that show.
bright copper kettles, and warm woolen mittens.
Budgie will fight Rush in a ring and win.
Brown paper packages tied up with strings.
I'm just saying, I'm not a big fan of exposition.
These are a few of my favorite things.
If you're into John Mellencamp,
who is?
Cream-colored ponies and crisp apple strudels.
The thing with the Foo Fighters, there just seems to be something missing.
Doorbells and sleigh bells and schnitzel with noodles.
This might be AC/DC's last run, so maybe I should catch them. But then I'm like, meh, this is just meh.
Wild geese that fly with the moon on their wings.
Santana,
nope,
he's going to be the Blue Hills.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Steely Dan, they're also coming to the Blue Hills.
Not even
at the
worth
end
a
of July.
mention. Not even worth a mention on this radio station. Move on. Who's next?
Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes.
Screw Steely Dan.
Snowflakes that stay on my nose and eyelashes.
I can't stand Kiss.
Silver white winters that melt into springs.
Def Leppard.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Anything but Def Leppard twice.
When the dog bites.
You know, I can't stand them.
When the bee stings.
One-armed drummer. Who are you?
When I'm feeling sad.
Get off the stage.
Simply remember my favorite things.
You have one arm, sir.
And then I don't feel
Here's my thing about the Beatles. I think they're terrible performers.
so bad.
This is a stupid show.
That's this kind of cynic that you're dealing with here.
He's brutal. You're
Oh,
the
yeah.
Simon Cowell of this show. You
Absolutely, that's what I'm here for.
tear people limb from limb. Even if they only have one limb, you just...
Yeah. So, I mean, like, what else can I do to that guy's pride? Take his other arm?
Oh, my God.
You know? I mean, I bet he got very proficient at that other arm.
Start playing with his feet.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh,
The foot
great
stuff.
So that's what you're in for. That's what you're in for. Jared's he's a tough sell on a lot of things.
If I can please Jared, I'm good to go.
No,
That's what interns are for.
Don't aim to please Jared. There's no need to. Steve,
He's
can
now
you
the-
intervene and just make sure he's not attempting to please
He's the
Jared?
Robin to my Batman, and Steve is the Alfred to my Batman.
I don't think Steve signed up for that.
I didn't sign up for that one.
In any way. I don't think there's no piece of paper that says he wants to be the Alfred. I don't think he wants to be the Alfred.
May as well just call me Adam West.
I'm sensing it. Oh, my God. Yeah, so.
Seriously, why Def Leppard? Anyone?
So the new song's called Let's Go. I'm actually going to play it on the show at some point.
Have you got any of the new Duran Duran?
No, I haven't
Just
heard the
to
new
cap
Duran
it
Duran.
off. No, neither have I.
No.
But LeBon's
I was not a Duran Duran fan.
I was not either, but LeBon's voice went about, 20 years ago, so...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, completely.
Even when it was at his peak,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just never got into it.
Nope.
Hit record. I don't like Duran Duran. There you go. Get that one.
Yeah.
Okay, not a lot of people do. It's all right. I get it. I mean, like, I don't want... Why am I being... Sugar's sticky, and it's a mess. You know, why do I want that all over me? I don't. Put it away.
Next week. I'm just going to keep chanting it. I'm going to keep chanting it to myself next week. Next week. It's like a mantra. What?
Just saying.
You look like you were about to say something. You all right?
You can.
You ready to go into our last classic rock block of the evening?
What are we doing?
We're going to do it.
Who's next? Did we ever play that song for that guy?
We're going to play... Do you know who... All right, here's the thing. I'm going to play a Boston song within the next block.
He probably tuned off already because he was like, wow, they're not playing this song. Bunch of Richards.
Ian wanted to hear Jared Thinks, Take Me Home Tonight... More Than a Feeling by Boston. If that's not the Boston song you wanted to hear, please call us back and tell us what you want to hear, because Jared's incapable of taking a phone call or making a note.
Put him on. Put him on.
Hey, BIM.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
It's Ian again.
Hey.
So I wanted to hear Rock and Roll Band.
Rock and Roll Band. Okay. That's completely different than More Than a Feeling.
Is way different.
But it is absolutely doable, and it's coming up after the next song, buddy.
Ian, I apologize. I was having a stroke.
He wasn't having a stroke. This happens all the time.
What was he stroking?
Oh my God! Ian will play your song. If you're intelligent, you'll hang up now.
He did.
He already did.
All right, so we're going to get that on for him. And anything else anybody wants to hear? Last classic rock block of the evening. Heading into it now. Let's go. 508-531-1303. SNS on BIM.
From ACDC to CC Top, we've got the biggest collection of classic rock in Bridgewater. You're listening to the Saturday Night Soundtrack with Rob Hicks on 91.5 WBIM.
Ba-ba, 91.5 WBIM Bridgewater. Saturday Night Soundtrack. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, our intern
Hello.
Brandon Smith. Hello. He's gone home for the evening.
Yeah, the young man couldn't last all the way through.
I mean, that's how
Which is
young
weird
men,
because you
that's how
think
young
it'd be
men
the
are.
other way around. The young men would survive the whole night, and the older men wouldn't be able to keep it going all night.
True, but that's
lesson learned, ladies.
That's just the
yes, ladies.
That is the level that we're at right
Have
here.
the experience.
So, 10:50. Rob Hicks, Jared Barbetta, Steve Rimmer, and wrapping up another night of classic rock. It was a good night. We had a bunch of phone calls, and we got one coming in right now.
What the hell? Where is everybody?
Probably Mike. BIM.
Who the hell you think of this knuckleheads?
Hang it up.
What's up?
Nothing much. I'm on my way out. I'm home. I'm out of here, and I'm heading home soon.
Nobody cares.
My vehicle. You guys sound so different in my vehicle.
Why do we sound different in your vehicle?
Because I'm not up in the freaking station with you, do nothing.
I guess that's as good an answer as I'm going to get.
That's a pretty obvious answer.
Good night, and to you, Steve, and whoever that other person is up there with you, other than Brendan.
Well, Brendan already went home, but we will.
If you're really listening, you would have found out that we're all here and that Brendan went home.
What do you think? You got a good taste of first time up at BIM?
Oh, I think so.
All right. Hope everything works out for him. And guys, a week from now, I will see you up there.
Yes, you will.
And I'll wear my, if I can remember, I'll stop off at the store and see what's going on with Nate.
You're not going to stop off at the store. You say this every week, and then you never do it.
I will remember next week.
You're not going to remember next week. I guarantee you.
Want to bet on it?
Yeah, I bet you a thing of Castle Royal, whatever the hell that stuff
Yeah,
is.
you can bet. You can bet on my behalf because I'm broke.
Hey, the other person I just had, listen up, Haystacks. You're not even going to be here next week.
Who says Haystacks?
I don't know. Hang on. We don't have time for his nonsense. Hang it up.
All right, I'm out of here. See you guys next week. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
How are you talking?
Haystack. Within that last block, we heard a request for Greg.
Kidding.
Greg Black called us. We heard Under My Thumb. That was for Greg.
Good.
And Greg has some sort of a mental connection with this show because he will request a song somehow that we already played in the evening. He's like, "Hey, I haven't called you guys in like 5 months. I wanted to hear Beautiful Girls by Van Halen." Hey, guess what, pal? We already played it earlier. Exactly. But he always has a good backup request, and his backup request was Under My Thumb by Rolling Stones. That was for Greg. My friend Chris, who used to be an alum here, or he is an alum, and used to do a show here as well, did a show with him for a time myself, and he called in just before we went on the air, and he's listening. So people are listening.
Good.
And, he said he just got out of work and just popped on the radio to see how we were doing. So it's good. We're glad that people are out there listening and that they're calling up to let us know that is the case. Perhaps, with some
do it sooner.
Yeah, exactly. With, like Mikey D calling us up, letting us know that he's listening. That's fantastic. We know you're listening. So,
yes.
Steve and I will be alone next week. Well, we'll have Brandon with us, but we'll be alone ourselves.
Yes.
Without Jared. But then it'll be a welcome reunion 2 weeks from now when Jared comes back to the program. For your planning, since you don't like to give me a schedule of your Mason events, I'll give you a little schedule. October 23rd, I think that's the Saturday of that weekend. Our show is going to be on, but we're going to be late.
Really?
Because there's they do the alumni takeover reunion every year, and that's actually the reunion that got me all jazzed up to come back and start doing this show on a permanent basis.
Oh, okay.
So I'm approaching the 1 year of Saturday Night Soundtrack, but what's going to happen is on the 23rd, a whole bunch of alumni, they usually come in and typically it tends to taper off, or I think they do like an open mic type show around like 7 or 8 o'clock, because they basically give slots to everyone who's coming back and wants a slot on a particular day, but they usually don't schedule it much past 7 or 8.
Okay.
So we may be coming in, and honestly, it's I mean, we can talk about it off the air. It'll be up to you guys if you want to come in for even a couple of hours, because it's going to be, it's going to be 8 o'clock, or it may even be 9 o'clock, but we would still come in. Like, basically, the Saturday Night Soundtrack would finish out the broadcast day. It would almost be like being part of the Alumni Takeover reunion, even though we're not actually having an official slot. We're just sort of doing our show on a delayed basis.
Okay.
So there will be a show on the 23rd. It'll just be late. Maybe that'll be the night we can all go out drinking. And that, you and I can go out drinking, Steve, and then we can come and do the show all sloshed and bombed.
Sloshed and boshed.
That's awesome. I think we should aim for that. Yes, Jared, you had something you wanted to say.
The 23rd, you say?
Yes.
Wrong.
What's that?
Wrong.
Wrong what?
That's not the day. 23rd is a Sunday, or a Friday.
No, that's fine. That's the 24th then.
Okay, then that's right. I won't be here.
Okay. You're not going to be here on the 24th? Okay.
I just sent you a thing.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Steve. So you and I, definitely, if you decide you want to do the show with me, we could definitely go out and have a few. Yeah. Then come in here and be like, everybody get out of the way.
Let me do the show.
It's coming through. I don't know what that was.
Morons.
Yeah, what's going on? So thank you to everybody who called. Definitely made this show a little bit more of a little bit more lively than it has been for the past couple of weeks. So it's good. Keep it coming.
Yeah,
call us like that next week and the week after.
But earlier.
Well, yeah, I mean, people were calling throughout the night. That wasn't that bad.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean, like some of these late bloomers.
Well, I know. Well, I mean,
wake up a little earlier.
I mean, my friend Chris wasn't trying to make a request. He just wanted to call to let us know that somebody was actually listening. And Mikey D's Mikey D. You can't even. He doesn't count as somebody who like called late because he wasn't trying to make a request. He was just trying to call to be Mikey D and to call you things like haystacks.
There's a comment to be made, but I won't make
whatever that means.
I don't know where he gets that one from.
I have no idea. So we'll see everyone next week. We're going to play our last song and get the heck out of here. It's Tom Petty, Steve, so you can start packing up early if you want.
Wait, never mind. Oh, no, the guy on the phone. Is the guy on the phone wanting to hear a song?
No, I just said.
It was Mickey D.
No,
the guy before Mickey D.
That was my friend Chris, who I said I specifically said he didn't want to make a request. He was just calling to say that, okay.
I'm drunk.
Yeah. And check with Steve before you ask me a question to see if I've already answered it in the course of my talking, because Steve pays attention.
No. I'll ask you what I want.
By Saturday Night Soundtrack. We're going to see you next week. SNS on BIM. Here's Tom Petty to close it out. Have a great week. Bye.
No more embarrassing moments in the bush.
In the bush, 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 in the bush.